Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to GameFace, episode 474, right here on SIFTD at SIFTD.net. I hope you're ready for the next couple hours of awesome video game discussion. And of course, alongside me to do that, as always, is the one and the only, the incomparable, Matt Keil. How are you, Matt?
All right. The intro is just like, kind of finish. Kind of finish.
How's your week been?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pretty quiet. I like Crimson Desert.
You do? You like it now? Have you come around on it?
I mean, I liked it. It's just, you know.
You just keep playing it?
Just kind of keep playing it. The exploration's pretty good. I don't really care what's happening.
Yeah.
I will say they put up, they're very reactive to feedback. They put up 2 patches over the weekend that did improve things pretty substantial. Like, he moves better now.
Oh, good.
The sprinting on both foot and on the horse were changed so that you don't have to keep tapping the button.
Oh, good.
And you just press the button once and they will run at the speed that starts to use stamina, and then you can tap it to sprint faster than
okay.
that. They reduced stamina usage for gliding by half.
That's
I think.
That's good.
So you can get way further now.
Yeah.
It's all better now. They fixed a lot of quest bugs, a lot of weird things. So, and then they put a patch up a hot fix the next day to fix something that broke, and then they put another hot fix up on Sunday to fix what they broke about the ray tracing with that hot fix. So they're on top of it, and they added a bunch of new mounts, and they gave everybody these tokens that let you upgrade stuff for free because they guess they did something where they didn't have the economy the way they wanted it, so they gave everybody a bunch of free money and these tokens that let you upgrade weapons and stuff for free at the smithy in that first town. There's so much weird stuff in that game.
I know.
I found
I said, when we were watching those trailers, it's like, really? The game eventually does that?
Yeah, I found a helmet that makes me Cyclops from the X-Men. It shoots lasers and it locks on to 5
out of a visor?
Yeah, it's like a red glowing visor and a metal wing helmet, and it you hold of course it's you hold both triggers or something, but you can lock on Panzer Dragoon.
Wow.
And it just it's zip. You can only use it once per minute, but that's enough. And you can cut down trees with it.
Oh my god.
It's really, I mean, I have another two-handed sword that shoots out these little orbs that then auto-target everything, so nobody can, basically it stun locks everything and destroys aerial things easily. And then I beat this boss he gave me a sword that summons crows when I hit the heart attack, and I was like,
okay.
Can I remove? So I removed the crow thing and stuck it on the orb sword. So now the orb summons crows and orbs.
Wow.
When I swing it with the heavy attack.
That's cool.
Basically, you can't see anything, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just
it
and
just
everything's dead.
Which was kind of how it was anyway.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't if you went further afield. If you wandered off into kind of the northeastern territory where everything's 2 hits and I'm dead. Okay,
yeah, it's more challenging.
But that's not a problem anymore. No.
Well, I have not continued to play the game at all. I've moved on and played other stuff.
70 hours.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I'm done. I don't think I'll go back. Maybe a year from now if I find a really dead point.
I mean, if they keep updating the way they have, I think it will be. I mean, he does feel better to run around with now.
That's good.
It still takes forever to get through. You talk to anybody, and it's just are you done? Why can't I leave? Are you done? It's their mouth is still moving, but the line's over, and you're like, how much longer are they going to keep flapping their mouth? And that happens more often than you'd like to think.
Yeah.
But overall, it's again
getting better.
Really good podcast game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow the river to the ocean and see what fish I can catch. And in the meantime, I'm gonna listen to this 2-hour podcast because that's how long it's gonna take me.
GameFace.
How long it's gonna take me to get there.
That's funny. Well, I have not continued to play, but I have continued to play other games, and we're going to talk about those on the show today.
Oh, I also found if you cut down trees with beehives in them, sometimes you'll get a beehive club, which breaks very quickly. But basically, it's a one-handed weapon, and you hit people with it, and then it makes bees attack them.
Oh,
as a damage over time.
Yeah,
and
like poison or whatever.
I killed a boss with it in 2 hits.
Wow.
I hit him twice, and I backed away, and
just let him go.
The life bar just melts off.
Wow.
And it broke it broke
whatever.
The club in 2 hits. I mean, you can't repair it or anything.
Yeah.
But it's and then I haven't found this, but it's called the Axe of the Apocalypse. It does 9,999 damage, but it has 1 durability, and it can't be. So it's one hit. That's
Hopefully it kills them.
Whatever it is, it can you can kill one thing in one hit with it, but that's all you get. So,
all right.
At least they're having fun with it.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yep. Well, one thing you guys are probably wondering is what the heck happened to our stream last week? We got about 30 minutes into the show, and it just went down and never came back up. Well, we had an internet issue here. And I think the issue is resolved, so we should be good. But I'm never going to say that 1,000%. But the bottom line is the internet went down. We could not get it back up before the time expired to do the show.
The power adapter died on the modem.
Yeah, I didn't know how much you wanted to share, so I'm just being
it happens
vague.
happens about once every year and a half.
Yeah.
It's because it's in the stack with all the AV equipment, and it's too hot. Or it's either too hot for it, or the power in that is fluctuates enough because it's
causing it to pop.
It causes that. I mean, it's a $10 power adapter.
Yeah.
Everything else in that stack is a much higher quality piece of equipment, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any more of them because I forgot. So I had to get another one. Showed up the next morning, and I've got to plug it in, and now it works. So now I got like 3 of those.
Yeah, we got
waiting to go.
backups.
If it happens, but it shouldn't happen again until another year.
Yeah. But anyway, I just want to let you know what happened and why the show went down and why we didn't bring it back up. Because a lot of times if our stream goes down, we'll try to figure it out and scramble to get it back up for you guys. But there was just no fixing it. So we did the show offline, and you guys ended up watching an archive. It was kind of old school, actually, the way it used to be back when we did Invisible Walls. Never recorded that live. We would record it offline, and you guys would wait until Friday night, and we'd put that show up. And I would say, Matt, there is a charm to that, to not streaming the show live and having people kind of watch patches of the show and then maybe decide to watch it later. Like, there is a thing about that moment when you publish something and people haven't sort of pre-screened it or whatever that, I don't know.
Yeah. I do think that works better on a show with more people, though.
For sure, yeah. I'd agree with that as well. But I was on the Shane Satterfield show this past week. I was talking about what it's like working in the industry with embargoed content. Somebody asked me a question about Digital Foundry initially saying that it liked DLSS 5, and then once it realized that everybody hated it, it kind of came back and said, we should have waited to hear what other people thought before we shared our opinion on it, which was,
yeah, that's not what that means.
That's not what it means. But anyway, that conversation led into me saying, like, Digital Foundry's not used to embargo breaks like we were, where you publish a review, you don't know what anyone else is going to give that game, and you just wait and see if you were an outlier, if you were in line with everybody else. It was kind of terrifying at times, but that's something that Digital Foundry's never really had to do. And now it's like dealing with this embargo break environment because it's independent now and it's not under the umbrella of Eurogamer anymore. So anyway,
and it's like, it's hardware. You don't generally
have embargo breaks,
and like if you're testing a video game, odds are it's out.
Right.
You're
the only one who's doing that too.
Yeah, like, you're gonna wait for a day one patch. You don't really have any competition because no one else does that to that degree.
Yeah. So it is, and that is kind of the same thing with the way podcasts used to be published. That we used to record them offline and then put them up, and then our takes would go up, and you sit there waiting for the first hour as people watch it to see if people are going to rage on you for saying you liked a game or didn't like a game. It's different now. Obviously, there's advantages to doing it this way with Twitch Prime and things like that. We generate revenue by doing the show live, but I do feel like it stunts discussion of the episode on SIFTD and on our Patreon because a lot of our audience has already watched it and they don't want to talk about it because you guys are awesome. You chat in our live chat about it. So it's a different way to do things. It was kind of refreshing to go back to the old way last week when I hit click on that episode and I realized most of you guys had not seen anything that Matt and I had said yet. And there's definitely a charm to that, but I like connecting with you guys here on Twitch and YouTube. And if you like this show, you should try to show up every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/SiftedGames or youtube.com/SiftedGames. A couple things before we get going, now that we've talked about what happened last week. We're going to discuss the PlayStation 5 price increases. It's the first topic we're going to tackle today, but sort of tangentially to that, we got some pretty good news this week. And that one is that OpenAI is in deep crap. They're the ones who created ChatGPT. When they just killed their video product, Sora, where you could just type something in, it would make a video. They killed it. And I don't even know how many millions they spent on that thing, but they were losing $1 million a day on just Sora, their video production. So they killed that.
Which also sacrifices $1 billion investment from Disney.
Yep.
Because Disney was going all in
right
on that.
And
When that happened, I still don't fully know if that's a good thing or not. Like I don't know if Disney's going to shop around for something equivalent.
Probably.
Or because
they'll go to Claude.
But there isn't really an equivalent.
Yeah.
Like Sora. I mean, it's all garbage, but like Sora was definitely the one that had the higher quality garbage. Yeah. No question. Certainly, if you want to simulate Disney stuff.
Right. And you're concerned about how your stuff's going to be.
Right down to the name.
Right.
Really. Like,
that's true. That's funny. So anyway, the good news, though, is that through all of this, OpenAI had a bunch of orders that it had placed for RAM. Like gigantic orders.
40% of the world's supply.
Yeah. And they are not going to make the purchase.
Because they were just letters of intent to two different RAM companies, neither of whom knew that the deal was also in place with another.
They're getting played by the other one.
And Altman just decided, no, we're not going to do that.
So
RAM prices plummeted.
Those companies got hammered on the markets. Like everybody.
It's like at what point do you are we learning yet?
Yeah, they're not still.
Like every time I feel like we need to bring in John Connor jingling the keys in front of the Terminator. Are we learning yet? You cannot trust these people. It is all a scam.
Yeah. I mean, so the good news is that maybe RAM prices will come down a little bit, and maybe
they already I mean, they came down by half already.
Yeah.
For a couple of days. I mean, will they sustain? Who knows?
We'll see. But right now, that's good news for us because, one, it means that maybe building a console in the next 2 years might be feasible, and you may be able to produce it at a price where people can actually afford it. And also, if you've been trying to build a PC for the last year and you can't because RAM is
now's the time.
Strike while the iron's hot, people. Go buy that RAM. That's all I'm gonna say.
The prices still aren't good, but they're way better than they've been in a year, and who knows what'll happen tomorrow. So if I was in the market to build a PC, I would
go today.
Jump on that right now.
Right now, and I won't begrudge you if you leave our stream for a second to go buy the RAM. It's totally cool.
You can put us in the background for a while. You got
I understand. Yep. So anyway, maybe there's some good movement on that. I'm hoping anyway. And again, we're going to talk about the PlayStation price increases here in just a second. Another thing, the Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out in a couple days. I saw a story today saying initial reviews were positive, but you're saying
I don't know what they're talking about because it's like a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen so many 0 scores from movie reviews in a while.
I mean, a 0.
It's shocking to me that they couldn't sustain for one sequel. Like
seriously,
I know Yoshi ruins everything, but come on, man. They're going. I mean, they might just be trying to cram too much stuff into this because I didn't see until a few days ago that one of the character posters is Star Fox, and it's like, oh, we're doing that, okay.
Well, some people think that the next movie is going to be a Smash Brothers movie because of the
crossover.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, it's possible. And what if they put live action Link in that?
Oh boy,
that would be ridiculous. I feel like the Smash Brothers thing is the obvious build-up. You want to build up the Nintendo.
The metaverse. You're making a metaverse, basically. Yeah.
But yeah, it is getting hammered in the reviews. Not that necessarily matters. Like, kids don't care. It's a family movie. They're pretty review-proof for the most part. It's Nintendo. But it is fascinating to me that no Sonic movie
has reviewed that low.
Like, the lowest Sonic movie, I think, is like 65 or 68.
Well, they're good.
Yeah, like the Sonic the Hedgehog is
shockingly
has actually won the movie wars.
It's pretty crazy
against Mario.
Yeah.
I never would have thought I'd see the day.
Me either. Yep. So anyway, keep that in mind if you are interested in going to see it. That comes out on April 2nd. Is that right? 2 days?
That sounds.
Or is it tomorrow? The 1st
this week. No, it comes. I mean, it comes out on the 3rd, but the preview screenings are on Thursdays.
Okay.
So it's the 2nd.
Okay.
Remember when you used to have to go to midnight for that?
Right, yeah.
Now it's just like 3 p.m. the day before. That counts.
It's the same stuff.
People got shit to do. It's fine.
And then a final PSA for everybody. Pay attention right now because tomorrow is April Fool's Day. And I'm just putting it out there right now. The video game industry is notorious for doing it up on April Fool's Day.
Although they didn't do much the last year or so.
Well, remember IGN did Labo VR?
Yeah, I remember
that. But it's real. It ended up becoming real.
Yeah, Virtual Boy thing kind of turned out to be the real thing there.
IGN does go all out.
It's very hard to parody anything now.
Because it's just the world's so insane.
I am friends with one of the new owners of The Onion, and she's just like, it's crazy.
There's no such thing as satire.
Like you think whatever they're writing, they're like, this will probably happen tomorrow, but I'm good for today, you know?
That's hilarious. I mean, that's true. That's 100% true. But anyway, just be on your guard tomorrow because you'll see stories all over the internet that are fake and blah, blah, blah. And we curate all that stuff on Sifted. We make sure to label everything as an April Fool's joke. So if you go to sifted.net, we got you covered. But I know a lot of you guys are on Twitter, you're on YouTube, wherever, where a lot of that stuff can swirl around, and there's nobody there to save you. Go to sifted.net and you will be safe. So anyway, April Fool's, it is kind of funny how the games industry has adopted it as like kind of its unofficial holiday or whatever. Like the games industry really goes all in.
EGM
has
a lot to answer for there.
For sure.
Looking at you, Dan Shu.
Yeah, seriously. A lot of it was him. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, that is that original Shenlong joke.
Yeah.
Which I saw people try to do that.
I know.
Really did try to do that. And it was like, do you like, I don't know if you remember that, but it was like,
it was insane.
It was the main thing was you had to win perfects the whole way up to Bison, and then you had to get, I think you had to draw rounds with Bison for like 6 rounds, which is impossible.
It's like impossible.
Like in fact, I think the draw only goes up to 3. I think that's the joke.
Yeah,
like you can't.
It's literally impossible.
But there were 2 guys at the local arcade that I knew. Like, they were older. They were like the gang members.
They wanted to believe.
But they tried that for like a month, and then like it wasn't until the following month where they published. Like we and like when we came in, my friend was like, "Dude, that was an April Fool's joke. It was fake." And they're like, "That's not true. That's not true." We saw the pictures, and so the next day I brought the magazine in, and I'm like, "See, they said it's fake. It's fake." And the one guy was like, oh, because they'd spent like $15
lot of money
trying to do that, which was a lot of money in 1992. And the other guy was like, I bet Capcom just made them like say that because they want people to know. And I'm like, if only that man knew how far ahead of the time.
Have you noticed things haven't changed all that much, Matt?
That man was just ahead of his time. He was living in the 21st century. He didn't know it yet. But he was.
Yep. Well, welcome to GameFace episode 474. Of course, as always, we want to remind you that we're supported pretty much 100% at patreon.com/sifted. For just $5 a month, you get all our content early, including this show several days early, Pactor Factor a week early, all our other content at least 3 days early. Be great if you could help us out over there. If you can't, that's totally cool.
Retro Modern Gamer mentions the Sonic and Tails being in Smash Brothers Melee one, which I think was that also EGM?
I think so, yeah.
Because it was again photo.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
they were very good at that.
They were, or maybe IGN did that.
It was it was some.
It was a big pub.
Those are the ones that work the best. Is the ones that like they're just plausible enough to be real. Like you could see it, and
they're not so far flung,
right? And sure enough, it did. Shenlong technically did show up in Street Fighter later.
Yeah.
And Sonic and Tails did show up in Smash Brothers. Like they're believable. They're not like crazy shit.
Like the Street Fighter one.
Yeah.
Which really, in hindsight, was crazy.
Well, the method is, but that is who what's his name, their trainer is. That's who that is.
Yeah.
Like he did show. And Akuma basically is that.
Yeah. I mean, it was theoretically plausible, but the practicality of it was insane.
Oh yeah, but it was a translation error. Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Shenlong is just Dragon Punch. It's just his Dragon Punch. So it was just like, oh, you have to defeat my Dragon Punch to stand a chance. It's like, well, and like the Shenlong being his like their mentor, their sensei was basically like fan fiction.
Yeah,
like, it was like all the shit that we made up in the arcade. It was
like,
oh, Chun-Li can throw her bracelets, and like Vega can fly, and if you do this, you get to go to Mega Man World. Like it was all nonsense. It was the Wild West.
Yeah,
there's nothing like it these days.
Yeah. Let's check in with you guys in chat and see how you guys are doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon. First of all, Rosencrantz over on YouTube with the super chat says, "I've always wanted to give you super chat through YouTube with ISK. Here you go. What is ISK?"
I want to say that's Swiss kroner.
Is that what it is? 3,000 Swiss kroners?
Is that?
Thank you, right Rosencrantz. That's awesome, man. Appreciate it. And as always, if you guys have a super chat, ask a question. We will answer it every single time if you give us a super chat. I promise you that. Let's check out the folks over on Twitch as well. Congram1 says Akuma in RE2 is hilarious. My older brother tried to unlock it for months. Eric Cartmena says, I always thought Shenlong was their fighting style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their fighting style is Kempo, but like, Dragon Punch, you could call it. I mean, you could get away with saying that.
Yeah.
It's not super wrong.
Yeah, Retro Modern Gamer says he does think it was EGM instead of IGN.
My brain sees the EGM layout for that, but I might be wrong.
Ilya GX says, I really miss the old days when the April Fool's jokes were not immediately debunked on Reddit within 5 seconds. Gives the joke time to marinate. Yeah, there's no reaction anymore. Like, you can't get people with it anymore and watch their reaction when they get got.
Icelandic Krona.
Iceland. Are you freaking kidding me? That's awesome.
It's kind of the same shape as Switzerland. Like, it's upside down Switzerland, sort of. Like, I was close.
Thank you, Rosencrantz. I didn't know that that's where you lived, man. Or are you there visiting or something, or on vacation? But regardless, thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe he's visiting, and so he has a chance to send.
I think that's the first currency we've ever got from Iceland here on Sifted. So thank you very much. Unless somebody's a patron or a subscriber and you're from Iceland, let me know. But Ilya GX, I hear you. Like, April Fools used to be fun. Like, it's not fun anymore. It really isn't.
No, especially not now. It's just, the internet's just full of people that take it all too seriously.
Yeah. Retro Modern Gamer says, I got burned when younger of Sonic and Tails being in Melee. So somebody got burned by that. Joaquin Dragoon, thank you for Twitch Prime. That's awesome.
Right, I gotta go get the mail. So
okay.
While you do the
I got plenty of time to thank all these awesome people in here. Khalib Twalai, thank you for gifting all those tier 1 subs to our crew. Thank you, man. Hope you're doing great. Awesome. Look at that. God of Gamblers, I'm late again. It's okay. We're still here. Our stream hasn't gone down yet, God of Gamblers. Hopefully it won't. Thank you for Twitch Prime as well, man. Rosencrantz, but what if... Here we go. Here's something from Rosencrantz over on Twitch. What if Rockstar announces GTA 6 delay tomorrow and no one believes them? Oh, that'll never happen. Even Rockstar doesn't have those kinds of cojones, man. They don't want anybody to question when that game is coming out if they know when it is coming out. So that would be a huge mistake. Although I would argue that would be a pretty good April Fool's joke for an outlet to run with tomorrow. Like, if IGN ran a story saying that it's been delayed into next year, people would freak. Even if it were April Fool's, people would still freak for a good, hour until IGN was like, no, it's fake. That would be a good one, Rosencrantz. Seriously. Hype train's rolling on in. Thanks, everybody. Got all the level 3 emotes. Uh-oh, and now we're in trouble. Because it won't go away. Unlockable emotes. Let's see. Which one do we like the best here? Let's go with the hand. That'll probably be the most functional one. Oh, that one's pretty cool, too. All those are still locked, unfortunately. Okay. Hype chest on the way. Vincent says, the near one's probably going to end up being real. That's actually true, Vincent. Emperor Dread says, I love when April Fool's game industry jokes got so much traction they became real. That's what happened to Yakuza being turn-based for that one game. Or it may have been a nice coincidence, maybe. Silk Snake asking, is that a Tomy Cup? Yes, Silk Snake, this is a Tomy Cup. This is what I replaced my 611 Records cup with when I broke it. I took it home and I glued the handle back on it because I could not deal with losing my 611 mug. I had been using that on podcasts for 2 decades, and it's a record store that I used to buy all my house records from in Philadelphia back in the 90s, and it broke my heart when it broke. So I took it home and I glued the handle back on it, and I'll never bring it back here. But I replaced it with this Tomy mug. I have tons of crazy gaming mugs from all my years in the industry. For a long time, that was one of the most popular pieces of swag that they would send out for whatever reason. I think they wanted you to have it on your desk for ever, because a lot of swag, they give it to you, the game is released, no one cares about it anymore, you'd take it home or whatever, and you'd never see it again. So I think they would send out mugs because they knew that you would use them for a long time, and maybe they would end up in a shoot or something like that. Let's see what else we got here. Ultimate Villain, thank you for Twitch Prime. Retro Modern Gamer, RAM prices becoming cheaper seems like a good April Fool's joke. Yeah, it's real though. These prices are real. Maybe only for April Fool's Day though, so don't wait.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe OpenAI will decide to buy them at that price.
You may be right.
Everything's market manipulation these days. So.
Yeah. Rosencrantz says the score for Mario Galaxy movie is bad. Yeah. But he said the first one scored bad? I didn't think it did.
Didn't score this bad.
What was the final?
I don't remember.
Higher than a 6?
I don't think it was higher than the 60s.
It wasn't? Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it did better.
I think it was
than
in the 60s, if
that.
I
Okay.
remember right.
This is for Vidya Games. Thank you for Twitch Prime as well. Who else we got up in here? And again, I didn't explain this earlier, but you can give us a free $2.50 with Twitch Prime. That's what we're talking about right now. If you connect your Amazon Prime account and your Twitch account, you can give us a free $2.50 every month, and you get Packed or Factor a week early with our patrons. A lot of people don't realize that.
59.
Oh, that's definitely lower than I thought. Okay. All right.
But yeah, both Mario movies are below, on the tomato meter, they're both lower than all 3 Sonic movies.
Yeah. Ilya GX also reminds us that Pactor said once prices go up, they generally do not ever go down to their past levels.
In this case, it's because they need to move inventory. Like they're probably going to creep back up after they kind of like have addressed this emergency and get a little cash flow, which is why we were saying
do it now.
Do it now, because that's not going to last. They are. You'll notice if you look at the price, they are still saying 50% off. They're not saying now reduced.
Right. Yep. They still have the MSRP the same. They're saying this is a deal. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get this to move because they need the
money.
money. They need the money to continue producing their next batch.
Yeah.
So it's a fire sale right now.
Yep. JM Rain 99, thank you for Twitch Prime. Hope you're doing good. What else we got in here? Eve Demon TSMC confirmed that they are totally booked up till 2028, so we aren't in a good spot yet either. That's true. Yeah. Emperor Dread praying for cheaper Steam machines now that the RAM is getting cheaper. Yeah,
probably
just praying
not.
that it actually comes out. Because right now it's dicey whether it's even going to be released.
Here's the thing: anything that comes out this year is not going to be affected by this event,
right?
Because they've already paid for it, and it's already going to be the deal's already been done for anything that's being manufactured this year.
Bills Above 13 says the RAM companies have maybe learned that they need exclusivity built into those contracts.
Or they need contract. There was no contract.
That was
it was a letter of intent. That's nothing. It's not binding in any way. Like
they knew, but they were skating on thin ice without having a contract.
Right. Well, because they didn't feel they could demand a contract because everybody somewhere deep down, maybe in that situation, knew that they were just trading basically imaginary money back and forth until somebody couldn't do it. Somebody couldn't make the. It's like those. There were these like 5 guys, this was years ago, but there were these 5 guys at the time. The most valuable Funko Pop in existence was a glow-in-the-dark version of the Boo Berry mascot Ghost.
From the cereal?
Yeah. They'd only made like 5 of them or something.
Wow.
So it was worth like $25,000 or something. And these 5 guys all went in on one of them. They all pooled $5,000 each to buy it. And what they do is... they would each get to keep it for a certain amount of time, and whoever had it would have to write a check for the remaining $20,000 out to the other members of the group, and then they basically trade that back and forth. And at some point, some guy realized that basically, like, well, if I don't have any money in that account, they can't get it.
Right.
So I can just run away with the Boo Berry, and like I guess like at some point they realized it wasn't really a functional way of doing that, so I think they switched to like actual cash or something. It was like it became a different like method because they realized it actually would be pretty easy to stiff everybody else run off with the Boo Berry figure. But I always think of that Boo Berry Funko Pop when I see stuff like what happened here with the OpenAI thing, because it's just like it's about the same sort of like you're just trading the same money around in a circle because you spend that to buy the RAM, and then they make the RAM, and then it's a Ponzi scheme basically. It's a big loop.
Yeah.
No one's making any money. Yeah. They're just making the same money, spending the same money to buy the next thing that will then make money, the money invested from that, which then they use to buy more of the thing that they get invested. It's like, that's not revenue.
No, it's not.
It's a closed system. You can't grow there.
Juan Palat over on YouTube says, OpenAI just got a new round of funding with record valuation, almost $1 trillion. So many people are going to lose so much money.
Like, what do you think's going to happen? Like, I mean, it's like, at the very least, invest in a different AI company, because it's like, they clearly don't have a plan. I mean, none of them have a plan, really. But, like, I think several of them have more of a plan than OpenAI at this point. It seems very clear that they don't quite know where
the money's coming from. Yeah, seriously. PCMRL Cult. Thank you for Twitch Prime. Timing for that's pretty good. What else we got here? Watch streak from the Big Smoke 82, 10 stream streak, which means you were here last week when it all went down. What else we got in here? One Super Master Gamer, thank you for Twitch Prime. Who else? Fight TGK, thank you. Anybody else get in here? Yep. Chevelleman 1979, thank you. Who else? I saw a couple that got in right away. 20 stream streak for Cinetike, thank you. Hope you're doing good. And I think that might be it for Twitch Prime. Oh, here's a couple more. Black Helmet Man 77, what's up? Thank you. 8 months.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Yep. And there's 2 more. Hammer Time 777 and One Shepherd. Thank you for Twitch Prime. All right. We're ready to kick off GameFace 474 right here on Twitch and YouTube and SIFTD.net. We have an awesome episode for you guys today. We are going to talk about the PlayStation 5 price increases. We're going to review Life is Strange Reunion. We're going to talk about the first Zelda and Star Fox games for Switch 2. We're going to talk about the big Xbox partner preview that went down this week. We have an awesome show for you guys. But of course, before we get into any of that, here's a word from our sponsor, the awesome LS Cream.
It's LS Cream, the fine cream liqueur crafted by fellow gamer and sifter Stevens Charles. Inspired by the Haitian drink Crémasse, LS Cream delivers an award-winning experience with every single pour. One sip and you'll see why. It's a party favorite. The silky blend of fresh cream and premium neutral grain spirits mixes great with everything. I dare you to put a shot in your coffee. I've been drinking it for years and still, I find new combinations that taste incredible. LS Cream is the kind of drink that keeps surprising you thanks to its notes of vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and coconut. Take it to any gathering and watch it steal the spotlight. We've never seen anyone resist. Ready to join the fan club? Head to creamls.com/sifted for recipes, retailers, and online orders. That's creamls.com/sifted.
Man, those drinks look damn good. I don't know why today. I feel like I'm dehydrated and thirsty, but those drinks look really tasty. And you know what? You can make those drinks. If you go to creamls.com/sifted, there's already a bunch of drink recipes there where you can make a lot of the cool stuff that you see in the ad. But here's the thing. They're running a contest right now called the 5K Challenge where you can create your own drink with LS Cream and win $5,000 USD. Go to creamls.com/sifted. That's where you got to go to sign up for the contest. But you can also find bottles both locally and online to help you come up with your own concoction. I highly recommend buying LS Cream regardless of whether you want to enter the contest or not, but it's a nice fringe benefit. So go to creamls.com/sifted and get cooking. All right, it's time to kick off the show proper. We're going to start things off with the PlayStation 5 price increase. And here's the thing, Matt, it isn't just the PlayStation 5. Also, the PlayStation Portal handheld, the streaming handheld for PlayStation 5, the price went up for that as well. So here's a quick rundown of exactly the price increases. For the base PlayStation 5 that started at $500, it is now $650. The digital disc drive free version of the PlayStation 5 is now $600, and that's a $100 increase from where it was before. The PlayStation 5 Pro goes from $750 to $900. $150 price increase per console. And then, as I mentioned, PlayStation Portable, the streaming handheld for PlayStation 5 goes from $200 to $250. So a $50 price increase there. Matt, what in the hell is going on here? Is this... So here's the thing. They announced this, and then a few days later, the RAM prices come down. As we mentioned earlier, generally, once people who produce things set a price, they never go back on that price, regardless of why they increased the price. So, do you feel like PlayStation might have some remorse here with this?
No.
No?
Because this is, I mean, I guess the RAM is part of it, but it's not all of it. Like,
tariffs are a part of it, too.
Tariffs are a part of it. Inflation's part of it. $500 in 2020 when the PlayStation 5 launched is worth about, I think, about $630 now.
Is it?
Like
Wow. That's crazy.
that's not super crazy pricing if you're not intending to drop the price of the console, like in today's dollars. Plus factoring in tariffs and factoring in the inflated cost of hardware. Like, yeah, $650 is probably about right going forward. Whether or not the RAM stays where it is or not. Also, Sony's the only game in town, literally, to some degree. Like,
It's almost a monopoly.
There's a point of like, oh, what are you going to do? Not play video games?
Uh-huh.
What are you going to do? Buy a Switch 2? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, people are saying Switch 2 is going to go up here in the next couple months too. We told you guys like a month ago to go buy a Switch 2 if you want one, because it's going to go up too.
Because remember, like, game consoles don't really drop in price anymore, and now I think they're just mostly just trying to keep up with inflation.
Isn't it insane, Matt, that you could have bought a PlayStation 5 at launch and 5 years later make a profit off the PlayStation 5?
Well, you wouldn't really be making a profit now
because the money's
not
not
worth
the money.
as much.
I hear you, but still, I mean, it's freaking bonkers. It's upside down world. Like things have never been this way.
No.
And it really just took a confluence of stupidity for it to happen. I mean, that's really what caused all this.
It's a mix of that and a mix of just the fact that the components that are used now simply do not devalue the way they used to. I mean, even if we hadn't had tariffs and inflation and all that, even if the economy was continuing to be fine, the components that are used in these things just simply don't decrease in cost or value as fast as they used to, because they used to be proprietary, they used to be custom, and now it's just basically what they make all electronics out of, and there's still demand for that outside of the game industry. So you're not seeing these consoles drop in price because it still costs the same amount to make them, and even more so with stuff like Nintendo, that OLED screen does not get any cheaper to make.
Yeah.
Like that costs what it costs. So here we are.
You brought up a really good point, though, Matt, because we basically begged for video game consoles for years to be made from off-the-shelf parts. Because generally, that means when you launch it, the price is going to be cheaper.
Price is going to be cheaper. It's better supported. Ports are easier to like baseline hardware, and you don't have to wait for like the console manufacturer to get off their ass to fix a problem with it.
Yeah, but as it's turned out, this time it has burned us. Because the problem now is that the consoles are competing with all other electronics for the parts. It used to be, to your point, Matt, that these were proprietary, and you signed a deal with AMD or NVIDIA to get those chips for X amount of dollars, and that was the end of the story.
And Nintendo kind of is still doing that backwards. They're like, we're using the chips that you're not using anymore. Because they're okay with being lesser powered.
Yeah.
And I think that is working out pretty well for them in that regard, because they've accidentally sort of dodged this problem. I don't think that was the point.
No, I don't think it was on purpose.
But it did turn out to be
it did.
An accidentally pretty smart move.
Yeah. But we seriously, like, we were always like, why isn't everyone just doing what Xbox is doing and just building a little mini PC? And now, as it turns out, that was a horrible decision to make for this generation of consoles, mostly because of AI and tariffs, things that you probably could have never seen coming.
Now, to be fair, it wouldn't have mattered really the other way either, because they'd still have needed to find and buy time for manufacturing these things, and they wouldn't have been able to get it if they were trying to spend the money they were back, equivalent money for a previous custom stuff, because it's way more lucrative to just leave your factories open for AI companies and RAM production. I mean, you still have had to buy your way into the factory schedule.
Yeah.
And you probably still would have seen inflated prices from that. It was just there was no way around this, basically.
I mean, there was. Like in November of 2024, there was.
Well, yes, but like...
Unfortunately, once that happened, there was no avoiding this.
Yeah, I mean, there is a world where the tariffs didn't happen, and legislation was passed to make AI sane, like AI investment and capital outlay more sane and regulated. But that's not what happened.
No, and here we are.
That's what we got.
Here's the thing, though, Matt. So you're right; they can't afford to make these or sell these any cheaper. But I feel like the price for everything now has reached a point where it's prohibitive, where people are not going to buy the console because of the price. So
I mean, I think that's true of literally everything
right now.
Like, that's true of apples.
No, you're
right
right
now.
Yeah.
Okay, like
I filled up my gas tank yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a 2-seater. It cost me $110 to fill up my car with gas.
It cost me like $80 the other day to fill it up, and I wasn't empty. Like I wasn't like on fumes or anything. But I'm just like, that's crazy.
My car it cost $70 to fill my car the entire time I have had it. And now it's $107.
Normal gas prices, it costs about $60 to fill my car. And now it's like $70, $80, depending on where I am.
So you're right. Things are more expensive everywhere. But some things people have to buy. They have to buy apples.
Yeah.
They have to buy food or whatever.
Yeah.
Consoles are a luxury.
Well, that's also, I mean, it impacts movie. You know, it used to be that movies and entertainment were bulletproof in times of economic hardship, but
not this time.
That's because one of the reasons for that is that entertainment tended to stay the same price, and it is not happening.
Yeah, it's going up
anymore. You want to take your family to the movies, if everybody wants popcorn, you've just spent $150.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is maybe would it have been smarter for PlayStation to either increase the price less or not increase the price at all, count on selling more consoles, and then hope that you make the money back on the back end with people buying the games?
I don't think so, because I think otherwise they would have done that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, PlayStation doesn't always do the smartest thing.
No, but I also don't. I don't think that model really holds anymore. Certainly, nobody seems to follow it, and I don't know if PlayStation would be able to follow that model even if it did work anymore. Because what games? Mm-hmm. Like, what would they be counting on in the back half of this year to provide that revenue shot? Mm-hmm. If something's there, we don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
Right. Because what is their late 2026 release that would make them all that would be their razor blade that would make them all that money?
It wouldn't be not necessarily first party, but just the third party games, because again, they're the only game in town now.
Right, but they don't really make that much money off of that. They make it because they're the whole.
I think 15 a game or something like that.
Yeah, but it's not much.
Yeah.
It's not enough to like because they're already, I think, losing money on the hardware even at $500. So now they're like, well, we're losing money no matter what, so we're just going to basically try to bring it up to parity, and hopefully we'll stop bleeding cash.
But is this going to kill the generation right here?
It's not going to help.
I mean, to me, there's no way now that PlayStation 5 sells as much, even without an Xbox on the market, a viable Xbox on the market. It seems hard for me now to see PlayStation 5 selling as many units as PlayStation 4 did.
Maybe, but I don't think it ever was going to in this economy, in this world.
Yeah, I mean, Pachter obviously has been saying that console gens are going to get smaller for a while, but Xbox bowing out of the market gave it a little shove.
I don't think the console generation is going to sell less because of what Pachter has been predicting for years. This is a very specific political situation we're in right now.
Yeah.
Most of this is an unforced error.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, at a certain point, you are going to have to just count on the shareholders to understand that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what else you can do. Like, people are not willing to buy a $500 console in huge numbers. But that $500 console is losing you money. We have to raise the price so we're no longer hemorrhaging cash every time we put one of these on the shelves. Fewer people are willing to buy at that price. Oh, well. Like, what else are you going to do? Like, this is one of the reasons, I guess, that the PC versions are going to help a little bit, because at least that's a little extra money coming in for a relatively small outlay. But, like, you got all hardware manufacturers, all entertainment companies are basically have to go in a survival mode right now because no one has the money to. I did a thing where I took like a 2020 Instacart order and I just like re-added everything. I just duplicated the order and put it. It was like $80 in 2020, and it was $158 now. It's doubled. The price of just groceries doubled, and that's before the Instacart fee, tip, anything like that. It's just the cost of the items is double what it was 6 years ago.
I mean, the other thing too,
it's insane,
is we knew that the tariffs were coming. This was like a promise.
Yeah.
And if you just looked at 100 years of history, you would know that it was a terrible idea.
A terrible idea.
And it was.
Yeah. And here we are.
Just like we told everybody.
What are you going to do? Like, that's. Here we are.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Japan Post hasn't been shipping anything to the U.S. since last August because of it. Like, it's just like all trade has been disrupted by this for no reason.
It's insane.
And we're all paying for it. And now the companies want their money back. And I'm like, excuse me, we paid that.
Yeah, that's our money.
Like, I don't recall you taking the hit on that. You charged me for that. Why do you get $1 billion back?
No,
we all should get that money back.
Yeah. Well,
that money was taken
there
from
were
us.
supposed to be tariff checks going out.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like the Doge checks that were supposed to go out.
Right.
And kind of like the Anyway.
Fell for it again, huh?
So what's the end result of this? Does Switch 2 dominate PlayStation 5 from here on out?
No, because I don't think the Switch 2 is going to sell that great either. I think you got to remember that nobody's got any goddamn money anymore. Like, there's no money left over for this shit. So I wouldn't really count on a lot of growth in terms of install base, and I would pivot very hard to software production and hoping to make money off the people that already have my console in their homes. And I think Nintendo is basically already pretty much doing that. Sony does not seem to. I don't think Sony's agile enough for that right now, given where they've ended up.
If you're Nintendo and you're saying to yourself, "Hey, we probably need to increase the price of Switch 2 by like $50," is it smarter to not increase it by $50 and have that competitive advantage over PlayStation 5? Maybe.
No.
No, you still don't think it's a smart move?
No, because what does it get you?
Well, it gets you to sell more consoles.
I don't think it does. I think 450 is still too much.
Yeah.
Right now. And not through any fault of their own. Like, I'm not saying it's like, oh, Nintendo's an idiot. We're idiots to price it at 450. I'm just saying, like, we're out of range. Like, it's already happened. It's done. Like, you have to buckle down. You have to batten down the hatches, assume that your hardware's not going to move the way you were hoping it was going to move, like maybe 3 years ago, predicting how this generation was going to go, and just fucking focus on the software.
Does it feel a little bit like PlayStation giving up on PS5 and just saying, let's just
little bit
wrap this?
I think this feels like cauterizing the wound a little bit. It feels like we're going to put the price up to the point where we are not losing money on this thing every time we sell a unit, and however many units we sell, fine. Like, we're gonna wait and see what happens, basically.
Because they do have around 100 million installed base.
This to me feels like it feels like an armadillo curling up into a ball. Like, it feels like we have to survive this, and this is how we're gonna do that. And fuck you if you don't like it. Like, because what else can you do? Like, I mean, the PlayStation 5 Pro cost them as much as it costs to put on the shelves and ship out to everywhere and get overseas, and that's how much they got to charge to break even, probably.
Yeah.
Like, PlayStation has not historically been a big, like, make money on the hardware company.
No, it usually is cut to the bone, typically.
And so I do believe that this is probably just the break-even cost for these products now.
$900 for a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Don't do it, people.
I mean,
I'm not happy I spent $700 on it. The one thing Nintendo, I think, could do is they have a deep enough library and a deep enough catalog that I think you could start including games with the system. That you wouldn't, like, not necessarily like Mario Kart, but like older stuff that has sort of run its course, but it would be nice as an incentive to put on the box and say, hey, yeah, you're paying $500 for a Switch 2 now, but you get all these things. You like those things, right? You know, like anything. Just like throw in some stuff that has already run its sales course, and it makes it, because Sony's not going to do that. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Over the last couple of days, I've been thinking about buying a PlayStation 5 Pro. So they're $750 right now. And I was like, well, because now the base PS5 is like $600, surely I can get $400 on eBay for it. Which, if I can get $400 for that, I'll pay the extra $200-$300. I went on eBay. PlayStation 5s are selling for like $300. So I don't know if after April 2nd, maybe that'll go up.
The price will probably go up when the price goes up.
That's what I figured.
That's more or less what will probably happen. But the other thing you gotta remember is, like, just because the price is more doesn't mean people are willing to spend more.
No, you're right. That's like Pachter said. He's like, people who budget $20 a month for Fortnite are still going to spend $20 a month on Fortnite.
And I would argue that, like, you know, we are probably going to be in the PlayStation 5 generation for another 4 years, if not a little more. So maybe if you're committed, maybe PlayStation 5 Pro, maybe this is the time, because otherwise it's never going to be cheaper than this. So
it's selling out everywhere right now.
I can't really recommend. I mean, I don't think the performance boost is worth it, really, especially if you have a PC and one day you'll still be able to play a version of that. Maybe not. Maybe they're trying to stop that now. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, if you want to play Wolverine in the best possible form, I guess you need a PS5 Pro, unless you have a guarantee that they're going to do a PC version, which we don't right now.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
GTA 6, I feel like you're going to want a Pro for that.
That's what I was thinking about all this week. I'm like, am I going to want to play GTA 6 on my base PS5? Probably not.
No, I mean, Crimson Desert runs pretty well.
It does.
On it. I mean, you can pull some pretty good miracles out of that thing.
Yep.
Maybe. I mean, again, depends if that's... I mean, if you're going to be paying at least $400. If you probably sell the PS5 for $300. So you're paying like $450.
After tax and everything.
Paying a Switch 2 for this thing.
Yeah. after you've already bought a PS5.
to basically run the quality mode at 60 frames per second instead of 30.
Pretty much. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. But it's like, I'm with you. I think PlayStation 5 is going to be here until like 2029, 2030 maybe. And so now investing in a Pro...
God knows how much the PS6 is going to cost.
Yeah.
So...
I have a day and a half here to figure it out whether I'm going to do it or not and pull the trigger or not. And I'm sure there's people right now in our chat who are thinking the same thing. They're like, wait a minute, like, what should I do? Should I, like, buy it? Or, like, what do you do? Call of Dookie, thank you for Twitch Prime. Congram 1 says they're trying to brute force profits out of AI while propping up the market.
That's from before the Alice Cream ad.
Yeah. It's a me, Derek D. Thank you for Twitch Prime. Eth Demon, do you think consoles will plummet or not matter? I mean, I think console sales are going to plummet.
Yeah, I don't think anyone... I mean, I think they were already going to drop because it's just a huge expenditure and people need to buy food and pay their car payments and all that. But, like, yeah, absolutely. Now, especially if the Switch 2 goes up again. Or goes up as well, rather.
Zet Saber says $1,000 PS6. Here we come. I mean, I'm hoping that.
I think that was always inevitable.
It seems.
I've been saying. You remember? I've been saying that for a year that the PS6 can be $1,000.
Bills above 13 brings up another point too. Then you have to spend $100 to get the extra disc drive as well. Like, it is ridiculous.
And that's going to disappear too.
It will. It is ridiculous that there's no drive on the PlayStation 5 Pro. You have to pay extra for that. Like, for that much money, even when it launched, it should have had the frickin' disc drive installed in it.
I don't think it should.
Why?
I think the math on that pretty much works out in terms of component cost. Also, I think the next PS6 is going to be that by default. I think you're going to buy a disc drive separate.
I agree. I believe that as well. But spending $900 on a PlayStation 5 Pro and then having to spend another $100 to get to $1,000?
Because that's what that costs.
That's insane.
That's what it costs.
No one's going to buy it. It's the industry's going to die.
Except they will, because that even now that Blu-ray add-on is hard to get because they don't make that many.
I mean, I've been poking around the last few days. They're everywhere now.
Now I think they flooded the market with it because they know people are going to buy them because that's what's happening. But like for a while,
Shake's saying 900. America's lucky because it's been 1,000 in other territories for a while.
But for a while, it's been in and out of stock all the time. Like they don't make tons of them at once.
Yeah,
because it's a niche market.
Andy T. Monahan says we're going to get to 1,000 before the PS6 at this rate. I mean, you may be right. Yeah. There may be more price hikes coming.
Well, I mean, again, if you want a Blu-ray player, you've already hit 1,000 with the Pro.
Yeah, you have.
So
yeah, and look, I buy physical games as well. So yeah,
I mean, I bought the Blu-ray drive because I watch movies on it.
Yeah,
so it's a great movie player.
Who would have ever thought when you bought a PS5 5 or 6 years ago that you could actually turn a profit on it? Like that's just bonkers. Like,
again,
I know, I get it, but it's insane.
Money's not
It's
worth it anymore.
That they cost more.
Well,
6 years later.
The insane thing is that the money isn't worth anymore.
Yeah.
The insane thing is that you could sell it.
Right.
You could sell it for if you sell it for less than, if you have a boxed launch PS5 and you sold it for less than $630, you broke even.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the insane part.
Yeah, it is. It's really crazy. Retro Modern Gamer says they don't release enough software anymore for that to work. I mean, yeah, first party, you're right. But third party, they make 10 or 15 bucks off each game.
You better hope Wolverine sells even better than Spider-Man 1 at that rate.
Yeah.
Which it might. I mean, Wolverine is pretty solid.
Joaquin Dragoon's asking if you have a base PS5, is it worth getting the Pro? That's the boat I'm sailing in right now, Joaquin. I don't know what to do. Like, I want a PS5 Pro now because it looks like the PS5 is going to stick around for a long time, and I'm not going to spend $900 on it. So I got to pull the trigger here the next 36 hours, basically. I got to figure it out. And I understand, Joaquin, you're coming to us for guidance. We should be able to tell you that. But I'm trying to figure it out for myself, and I don't know what to do. Lazy Worm says gas prices don't bother me as I own an EV. Lucky you. But the funny part is like the whole country has started moving away from EVs over the last year, and now it would if we. Everything is just a disaster.
Well, then electricity
also is crazy expensive.
So like even if you had an EV, you'd be paying more.
More. Yeah.
Crazy. Last week. So I got a spam phone call that was like, "Hey, did you notice the rate increase in your latest power bill?" And I'm like, "I didn't see the notice, but I did notice that it was higher."
Yeah.
And like they're like, "Oh, well, we got it," and I'm like, and the call dropped, and I'm like, I was listening to that spam phone call for the first time in my life. I wanted to hear what the spam phone call had to say, and you fucking cut me off. What is going on?
It's funny. God of Gamblers 33 says, I think Sony raised the prices early, anticipating the launch of GTA 6. I mean, that could be.
I mean, I don't think it was because of that, but there is an argument to be made that you do it now because by the time GTA 6 comes out, the sticker shock might be over.
Yeah.
You know, like people are done reacting to it.
Yeah.
That probably is part of it.
Obi-Wan 9000 makes a really good point.
Also important to do it before April 1st.
Yeah. Yep. Obi-Wan 9000 makes a great point. He or she says, can you imagine how third-party publishers must be feeling given console and PC prices are going through the roof? Their business model is threatened if new consumers simply cannot afford to buy the machines to play their games. That's the other thing. Like, these third parties are got to be pissed because they're like, wait a minute, our business depends on people buying a PlayStation 5. Like,
yeah, but like a lot of people have. I mean,
there's 100 million.
Capcom's just over there counting their fucking cash.
Yeah.
Like you're fine
Yeah.
on that. Maybe you're worried
There's
about the
enough.
maybe you're worried about the PS6, but you know what? You can still make them for the PS5. Like they'll be cross compatible. If you're a third-party software publisher and you are really that reliant on the infinite growth myth, then you probably shouldn't be publishing software.
Nope. Let's see. Oh, people talk about the black screen. Retro Modern Gamer, I saw a thing that said Nintendo's cutting back. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a little bit later on in the show. Erebus Jones, on the news of this price increase, I did the only thing a sane person would do. I bought my son a Series S for his bedroom before the price of that goes up.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of depends. Do they raise the price on that, or they just clear out all the old Xbox Series stuff?
I don't think they've increased the prices of Series S.
Probably
in
not.
a while. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they've made all the Series S's they're ever going to make at this point.
No, yeah, probably. Cinetyke asks, what can console makers do if costs are actually this high to make and ship the consoles?
Nothing.
There's nothing they can do.
They can charge what they have to charge.
They can try and wait for a dip in prices and then buy a ton and put them in a warehouse somewhere. PlayStation did that with RAM. Like, it has enough RAM to make it through the end of this year, stockpiled, and then they have to buy it. So that obviously Sony's hoping that the market flattens.
Oh, I'll bet you Sony's buying RAM right now.
Right now. Yep. That'd be my guess too. But that's how you could do it. But that's the only way. Like, Nintendo is smart. It shipped. It had produced a bunch of Switch 2 consoles way before it was even announced. And so it shipped all those consoles to America before the tariffs kicked in and just held them in a warehouse here. But now that stock is going to be depleted and Nintendo's going to have to start paying tariffs. So, and that's when the price will probably go up for the Switch 2. So anyway, Contano says, I still don't believe any console should be over $600. I agree with you. I think that is the untenable price when it goes over. Even $600 to me is like borderline.
A lot. I mean, but again, part of it is just like $600 is not worth what it used to be worth. Like you're thinking about that in 30-year-old money terms. You know, like, I mean, it was ridiculous that the 3DO cost what it cost when it came out.
Yeah.
But a 3DO today,
it costs like $2,000.
It would be like $1,400 in today's money.
I was exaggerating, but a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it's easily over $1,000 in today's money. And 3DO did the way it did.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Congrim says he has a PS5 Pro and he's happy with it. That's good. And Noxatornitis says, this is why I bought a Pro for the long run. Yeah.
I mean, that is true. Like, I still feel stupid having bought it at launch, but, like, in the end, it's probably better. Like, especially having put the 2 terabyte, like, Western drive, it's pretty much set till whenever the PS6 comes out. And it does work. Like, the games run well.
Yeah.
Like, it's all... You don't need to worry about it. I mean, I played Outlaws again on it because it was like $19 for the whole package over Christmas, and I replayed it on PS5 Pro, and looks, it's in high res mode or quality mode or whatever, and running at 60, it looks fantastic. Yeah. Like it really does what it does. It's just such a minor upgrade.
It really is.
But it's also like a minor upgrade I care about. It's hard. It's hard to tell anyone to spend that money on it, but I guess in the long run I probably won't regret it.
Well, the gap now between it and a base PS5 is like $250. That's a lot for
now that
60 frames a second.
Now that the base PS5 is barely less than the original price of the Pro, it's like
it's crazy. Rock and Roll 458, thank you for Twitch Prime. That's awesome, man.
We're going to show you how deep the rabbit hole goes on this one. Jeez.
And he says that he's thinking of getting a Pro to play the exclusives. Yeah.
I mean, you probably are going to want a Pro for GTA 6 if you care about GTA 6. Like, there's no way around that.
I mean, that's really what's pushing me towards it.
I mean, you care about GTA 6 enough that you probably do need to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is... Like, I don't know if that would push me to get it, because I don't actually care about GTA 6 that much. Not to the degree... Not to, like, a $700 console degree. But, like, it is going to be the preferred way to play that game. I guarantee you that game is going to be better on the Pro.
Yeah, for sure. Congram asked if Sony thinks people are going to have FOMO once GTA and Wolverine are launched and they'll buy up the consoles at these prices.
I'm sure GTA 6 will spike PS5 sales no matter what price it is.
Yep. Of both the base and the Pro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I certainly, if I were Sony as GTA 6 approaches, I would certainly make it very clear what the Pro brings to 6. You know?
Like I would make commercials.
Oh, 100%.
It's like split screen.
I would try to work with Rockstar to be like, make it very clear that this is what it looks like on the Pro. And yeah, like it would be in the state of play. It would be if you want to play GTA 6 the way GTA 6 is meant to be played, you need a PlayStation 5 Pro. That is going to, I mean, if there's a brain left in that building, that is going to be what the push is.
I do feel like this price increase was strategic before GTA came out. So that it'll give people a handful of months to get over it. They'll forget about it. And then when it launches, people just go buy the consoles.
I mean, it's going to, again, the sticker shock will be worn off. I think this is about the time they needed to do it anyway in terms of revenue, especially like going into the new fiscal. That's probably not a coincidence either. But like, yeah, like at a certain point, you're going to be like, probably a lot of people that maybe don't have this but do care about GTA are going to be like, oh, GTA 6 is coming out, 6 months from now or 9 months from now if it gets delayed to next Q1 or something. I'd be like, oh, I got to get a PlayStation 5. Oh, that's right, they cost that much now.
Yeah.
Well, I got to play GTA 6. Like it's not going to be hot news. There's not going to be a lot of people angry about it from like current posts online.
You're just going to have to deal
like,
with
that's
it.
what it costs now.
Yeah.
And because that's how inflation works. You just sort of, it creeps up and you just sort of deal with it. And that's how much a fucking orange costs now. And that's that.
That's
how much a gallon of gas costs because you got to get to work. And that's the end of that. What
you got to eat. You got to drive to work. Yep. Surly Mexican, thank you for Twitch Prime, brother. Appreciate it.
You go back to 1993 and tell my 18-year-old self that he's paying $17.95 for a movie ticket.
Seriously.
After he just walks out of the $3 Jean-Claude Van Damme movie he just saw, right? And be like, what the fuck?
Silk Snake reminds us you also need a fantastic TV. I think most people probably have those at this point.
Yeah,
but you're right.
that most people I think have sorted at this point.
Yeah. Santok says feels like PS5 Pro would surely be cheaper than a coming PS6 eventually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you would think so, but who knows? Everything's so upside down right now. It's like there's no way to know. Like 5 years ago, if you told me this stuff was happening, I'd been like, you're crazy. Like there's no way the PlayStation 5 costs more 6 years later than it did at launch. That's just bonkers. Like
I wouldn't have really balked on that because
before tariffs and everything.
Yeah, because maybe not to this huge of a jump, but the previous generation that they weren't dropping.
Yeah, I mean PS4. It dropped like $50 finally at one point.
Yeah, way late. But like again,
they weren't going up.
They were going to go up. Though. Like it was very clear that like the way like you said, moving into the standardized components, they're going to be vulnerable to demand on that. And if demand got higher for things, and not that you could necessarily predict the Gen AI thing, but like if demand got higher globally, they were going to have to pay more for their components too, and that could drive the price, at least drive the price to remain the same the whole generation. Yeah. If not, I mean, I wouldn't have predicted that you were going to get a $200 jump at some point.
5 years later.
6 years later.
It's freaking insane.
But like, again, that is an inflation adjustment as much as a parts cost adjustment. Like this is the dollar has lost an obscene amount of value since 2020. Like just 5-6 years. Yeah. That's $130. Was it? Yeah, it's like $130 like loss basically. Yeah. Like you like that's crazy. Like $500 during the pandemic is now worth $130 less than it would have been then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting the percentage right on that. Right, yeah. But like it's crazy. Like,
it's nuts.
That's nuts. That only like half a decade separates how much that's worth.
I know.
Like it's it's not a crazy. If the PlayStation 5 came out today, it probably would cost $650.
Yeah, it's unprecedented times. I mean, that's why it's hard for us to answer some of these questions because we never dealt with this.
It's not unprecedented.
If you go back to
1929 or so, but we didn't have game consoles
when we learned
then,
that tariffs were a terrible idea. Anyway, we
I have
didn't learn
two
from
words for you: Smoot Hawley.
Seriously, go Google that.
Read a book.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Nobody
Probably
reads
not.
anything
No.
anymore. That would be a huge improvement to society if people just stopped watching news on TV and started reading reporting, where people have to actually issue retractions when they get stuff wrong.
Or I don't know. just read a book.
Yeah,
Read.
just read.
Read books.
Well, I think there's like 30-some% of Americans can't, or like illiterate.
Functionally illiterate, yeah.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
And they'll make fun of you for being able to read.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, what did you use? Like, yeah. Oh, you're why AI summaries exist. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't even read that. You have it read it to you through the voice thing. It's like,
Yep.
this is and like all of it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's
in the
just-
past, we would have told you guys to say screw Sony and just go buy an Xbox.
Yeah, but you're kind of stuck now.
You're stuck. You can't do that.
I also wouldn't have told you to buy an Xbox, really.
I mean, if I would have, if Microsoft had continued on the same path as PlayStation, making games, selling games, not going all in on Game Pass, and it was just another console right now with all the good exclusives coming out for Xbox.
But they'd
I
be
would.
doing this too.
You're right. Their prices would be
Their
going
prices
up.
would also be going up.
Yeah, although they bit the bullet a little bit more than Sony
A little
has.
bit more because they have the war chest. You know, it's Microsoft.
They can afford it.
They can lose money. I mean, they're
Yeah.
losing billions upon billions in AI investment. They can lose a couple million on their console business
Yeah.
and not care. But like, again, that doesn't. The investment loss doesn't matter to them, whereas the loss at the retail market does seem to matter more.
Microsoft might have been a company to do what I suggested earlier, which is like take the hit on the console because their competitor is vulnerable, sell more consoles, and hope you make it up on the back end.
But they never would. Like the lead that PlayStation has at this point.
oh yeah,
You're not
that'll
gonna
never
make
happen
that
now.
up.
Yeah,
But
for
even
sure.
if it was the standard model that Microsoft were, they wouldn't be able to catch up with that.
I wouldn't say they'd be able to catch up. They'd be able to maybe turn the tide a little bit and sell some more consoles, and then sell
I think
more games.
they're too far behind for that. I mean, they'll still be distant third no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I guess
Like they've always been.
Yeah,
They've always been.
they
third.
weren't distant third in the 360 era. They ended up.
They led for a while.
They ended up not. I think PlayStation 3 sold more units in the end because of the
Well,
price
they
drops
left
at
it
the
on
end.
sale for like
Forever,
9
yeah.
years or whatever. Yeah.
But like, I mean, again, like we say, the situation that Microsoft is in with Xbox started in 2010.
Yeah.
They blew it at the very beginning of the Xbox One generation.
That was it. Yep. All right. It's time to move on. We're going to talk next about the other gigantic news from this week, and this one comes from the Nintendo camp. I think a lot of us, Matt, were maybe assuming or counting on there being a 3D Mario this year because it's like a big anniversary for Super Mario Brothers, and
Yeah,
as it turns out...
I did not think, probably, because again, I assumed a lot of the same people who made Bonanza were the same people who would make a 3D Mario.
And that has turned out to be the case. So instead of celebrating the big anniversary with the new 3D Mario, we're getting like a Switch 2 version of Super Mario Brothers Wonder that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. And we're getting the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And that's what we're supposed to celebrate with. And this week, Nate the Hate, you've heard us talk about this guy on this show many, many times because he is literally probably the most accurate and prolific leaker in the industry right now, I would argue. At least he tends to get the scoops that people really care about. And he shared this week that there will be no 3D Mario coming in 2026, but we should expect that in 2027. But instead, we're going to get a remake of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and a brand new original Star Fox game.
Which I called, you'll remember.
When did you call
That was
it?
one of my predictions, was a new Star Fox this year.
Let's start with Ocarina of Time. One of my favorite games of all time. In fact, somebody just asked me last week. I went to dinner. My wife and I went to dinner with some friends, and they're not really into games. And they asked me, like, what's your favorite game of all time? It's what everybody asked me who isn't
there
into
it is.
video games.
January 12th, Return of Star Fox.
That's right. Yeah.
That was one of my New
That was
Year's
one of your predictions.
Yeah.
That's great. So anyway, look, I'm not a fool. I realize when you go back and play Ocarina of Time now, it's dated in some ways. Though I would argue, surprisingly not dated in other ways. But it is dated
It holds
now.
up okay.
Yeah. It was a pioneer. It basically taught us how we were going to play 3D action games for the next 3 decades, basically.
Yeah, it solved the targeting problem.
Right.
Basically.
Z targeting and all the way the cameras work and all that kind of stuff. Automatic jumping, which hasn't been picked up as much as I thought it would be back when the game launched. I thought it might turn into a thing, but it really didn't. Some games do it, but Most still don't. You still have to use a jump button in most games. But it was very innovative for the time, obviously, because 3D games were just being figured out. And in hindsight, it's not as great as it was when it came out. So to me, Matt, this is a great candidate for a remake.
I mean, I think it's a little weird because this isn't the anniversary of Ocarina. It's the anniversary of Zelda, but like the anniversary of Ocarina is in 2 years.
What would you remake instead?
Link to the Past.
Yeah?
Like a really high quality Link to the Past remake that keeps it 2D, but think the Link's Awakening remake, except not cartoony. Like I do it up more, not realistic Zelda, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like something that kind of was the Zelda equivalent of what the Mario movie looks like.
Yeah,
would probably be what I'd go after. This is my favorite Zelda game, so it's not like I'm disappointed by this. I just think it's weird that you would maybe give the other great Zelda games some attention that doesn't really get a lot of attention, and save this for its anniversary in 2 years. That would be more like what I would do, but I'm also not going to argue with playing Ocarina remake this year either.
Yeah.
Although even though this is probably just going to be some kind of vague reworking of the 3DS version.
Do you think so? So you think it's just going to be a remaster and not a remake?
I don't think it's going to be a remaster, but I bet it'll be more or less the same assets and the same.
Really?
I think it'll be like not a remastered, but I think you'll be able to tell it started as the 3DS version.
I would be really disappointed if that were the case.
I will be very pleased if it is not the case. Two very different viewpoints of how much effort Nintendo puts into things.
Yeah, some of the prior Zelda remakes that they've done, they've kind of gone all in. They haven't really just
Link's Awakening
stuff.
was all in. But again, nothing on the level of what the 3DS Ocarina. Link's Awakening didn't have that. You didn't have a baseline to start from. Yeah. Also, Link's Awakening, the 3DS Ocarina is pretty good.
It's really good.
It's a fine place to start.
Yeah.
At the very least, you want to incorporate all the improvements that made anyway, whether you're making it from the ground up or not.
I'm just wondering if you completely rip it up and just build the brand new game.
I don't think so, because that's not the point of doing this. Like, the point is to nostalgia bait it and bring in all the people that love this thing. I think you can add and alter some things that have been figured out since, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Like you could even put a jump button in if you want to go crazy. You could maybe put the glider in if you want to have some, like you could do some things that have been sort of staples of the franchise in the subsequent 30 years. But I think you keep it pretty close to what it is.
You don't think it's going to be like Ocarina of the Wild?
No.
Really?
No.
Because I kind of think it might.
Not a chance in hell.
Because this is kind of the first open world video game.
I mean,
the tech wasn't there to do it at the time.
There were many open world video games before this.
Like what?
Like Bethesda's Terminator game. They're mostly on PC. All the Ultima games, like those are all open world games.
Okay, first open world console game.
Okay.
But it still isn't, obviously. But it's kind of like God of War-ish open world. You have like these areas.
I mean, Hyrule feels really big for the time.
Right.
That's about it.
And so I feel like this was kind of the progenitor to what was going to come with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom eventually.
But who cares?
Yeah.
Because that's not what this game is.
Well, I think Nintendo cares because those games sold like 50 million units.
Yeah, but so will Ocarina. Ocarina's Ocarina.
You think if they just remaster it, basically, it would sell like 40
I don't think you just remaster it. Like, I would not be surprised if it's like seamless now. I would not be surprised if there's no load screens between things. Like, you won't go into a black screen to leave the Kokiri Forest. You'll just walk. You'll just keep walking. That would be something. So I mean, I guess you could make it truly open world, like no breaks, basically.
I just wonder if the expectations for Zelda are so different now that to put this out in just sort of a remastered, gussied up version may piss people off and disappoint people a lot.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Also, like, again,
that's the danger of
Body
setting
Harvest
precedents.
Body Harvest beat this too, and it was also open world.
Wait, I thought Body Harvest came out after Ocarina.
Body Harvest was earlier in '98.
Was it?
It was like June '98.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, it came out in November.
Yeah. I very much remember that because I bothered the people at multiple GameStops for weeks before it came out, hoping
it was
get it
delayed
early.
so many times. Yeah. Like finally when it came
out. Because every once in a while they get stuff a little early, and we're hoping it's like, is it early? Is it early? Also, it was the same time as Metal Gear Solid and Half-Life. It was a very big November.
It definitely was. I mean, I'll just say
I remember all the people who were buying Half-Life and all the people who were buying this and all the people buying Metal Gear all looking at each other in the store like,
Side eye.
Like this is like the Half-Life people in particular. Where it's like, oh, you're playing the baby game with the elf boy. We're gonna go play cinema.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I bought all 3 of them.
Yeah,
asshole,
me too.
so
I got them all. So now I just have to choose which one I want to play first.
Yeah, it was this one.
Yeah.
I think there was like a week apart from
Yeah.
one. I think one of them was a week apart. Maybe this one.
I mean, one thing that does give me a little bit of pause is wondering who's making this game. Because if it is the team that works on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, then I agree with...
It's not. I guarantee you it's not.
I think if that's the case, it may be less likely that this game is like open world. Because I don't think you want the Zelda team spending a ton of time on
Here's
an
the
old
thing:
game.
the open world stuff in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom come from Monolith, Monolith Soft.
Yeah.
So you don't need the Zelda people to work on this. You just need some consultants from Monolith. So that's
I mean, what if
entirely
Monolith
possible.
is making this?
That's possible.
I mean, to me,
they have been kind of quiet.
that might be the smart thing.
Yeah,
Is that Monolith handle this?
Monolith would not be a bad choice for this. That's
Yeah. I'm really hoping that it's not just another port like the 3DS was, which I agree was really good. But
I think it will be a remake in the way that the 3DS one was, where it's
Yeah.
like, that had a lot of improvements. It brought a lot of stuff up to code, more or less. But I think it will be the equivalent of that. It'll be another little jump, but it's not gonna. I don't think you're getting like Ocarina Breath of the Wild version here. Like that doesn't seem feasible. It's gonna be a totally different game, to the point that you would probably just alienate people who want to play Ocarina again. Unless like you can play the original Ocarina in it, which seems unlikely because you can already do that because they want you to subscribe to the Nintendo Switch Online thing to play the original version on the N64 Virtual Console thing. So I would imagine it's not going to include. It might include like a free month of subscription to that or something. I don't know. So it probably will be fairly different in that. Like I said, like a bump the way that 3DS was a bump, to the point that like you would really, if you had both the 3DS version and the N64 version in front of you, you would probably very strongly consider playing the 3DS version over the N64 version because it is the better version of the game. It's just easier on the eyes, frankly.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that whatever this is going to be that equivalent to the 3DS version as well, because you're going to be kind of competing with the N64 version on the Nintendo Switch Online subscription service.
Right.
So you want to give people a reason to pay money to buy the new remaster, whatever, over what they can already access by paying yearly for that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just saying that an upgrade of the 3DS version that's an equivalent upgrade that the 3DS version was to this would probably be good enough to do that.
Yeah. The other thing I would say, Matt, is that there is an opportunity for this project to be, I think, what a lot of people want Zelda to be in the modern age, which is still an open world game that has all the fiddly fun stuff that the kids like to do, but real dungeons where you actually go in, you get a power up, you use that power up, you master that power up through the dungeon, fight the boss at the end, go to another dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, this is the truest 3D Zelda game in terms of being a Zelda game.
And if you incorporate the open world stuff in between the dungeons, like, you really have an opportunity here to kind of create the perfect Zelda game.
Yeah, you could mess with that. I don't know how far they'll go with that.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out. Honestly, I'm really excited to learn more about this.
I mean, it certainly would be nice if like there was more to do in Hyrule Field, or the fetch, the quest chains were not quite so tedious. That big Goron sword thing is just never fucking ends. And by the time you get it, you're like, okay, great.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, whatever.
Yep. So anyway, that's all the information we have on the next Ocarina of Time game. And then also a new Star Fox
Because also
game.
remember, they have to make the world twice, right?
Yeah.
Because there's future and past
Right.
versions.
Yeah, you do.
So two seamless open worlds, that might be enough work just
You're right.
on its own.
You may be right, actually. That's a good point. Yeah. Because you're right. You do have to create two versions of the same open world for young Link and adult Link. Yeah, you're right. That may cause problems. Now, maybe the bigger news is that there's also a Star Fox game coming. But this one is coming, like Nate the Hate said, like this summer.
Which I think I also said. I don't know why I thought Star Fox is due, but I was like, Star Fox is due.
Well, you were right.
Like,
because there has not been a new Star Fox in a decade. The last one was made by Platinum Games for the Wii U.
And
Star
was
Fox
not
Zero.
tops.
It was not good. And
I guess technically the last one was that Starlink game.
I guess.
That came
yeah,
with
because they did have R-Wings in it.
Came with an R-Wing in the
yeah.
Switch version and stuff. It was fun. I like that game.
Yeah, it was
I thought that
okay.
fun.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
But not a real Star Fox game.
Right. Yeah, the last one was Zero for the Wii U a decade ago. So
Also, I'm the weirdo who liked Armada. that 3DS one where you drew the path and planned the battle out.
Oh,
I thought that was fun. I like that.
They have experimented a lot with this franchise. Like they've tried. Like there was that whole.
They did a Zelda game with it, for God's sake.
Yeah, there was that Project Robot thing that kind of ended up having like Star Fox stuff in it that Miyamoto was working on for a long time.
Yeah. I don't. It was.
They really have kind of ruined the Star Fox.
They've never really figured out what to do with this after 64.
But I can tell them what to do. Just make Star Fox 64 2. That's all you should do.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
But nobody cares.
It's such an awesome game. I played Star Fox 64 like I don't know 100 freaking times, like over and over.
We used to have whole we got party. Not even like gamer people, like non-gamers would come. Like we hook Star Fox 64 up with 4 controllers. We drag the projection TV out to the pool, and like people would play Star Fox and drink all day. Like it was. Everybody loved it. Even the people. Nowadays, you get people like, "Oh, I don't know how to fly planes," and back then, everyone's like, "Nah, fuck it, I'll figure it out." Like,
I sold an N64 because somebody came to my place and we partied and had fun and played Star Fox 64 with the Rumble Pack. And the next day, he called me. He's like, I went and got an N64 in Star Fox. So this game, when it came out, definitely was impressive, definitely motivated people to get an N64. And I still enjoy playing it. Like, I will, like, go on Nintendo Switch Online, start it, and end up playing, like, through 3 planets. Like,
I think they need to... Like, if you do another Star Fox game, it needs to be pure. It needs to be Star Fox. Like, I don't care about getting out of the ship.
Right.
I don't care about walking around in a walker.
Me either.
I don't care about any... I want to chart my course through the galaxy, planet by planet. I want choices in what I can do there. I want every planet to have its own routes. And I want, like, your actions and performance in each area to matter somehow. And otherwise, I just want to lock onto shit and blow it up.
Yeah. Star Fox 64 2.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even mind the tank in this. Like, the tank is fun. And
Tank's fine.
They only brought
It's
it in
okay.
like 3 or 4 times, so it didn't become overbearing or whatever. Like, I love this game. I would love to finally just have a sequel to this game. Stop messing around and just make a good 3D Star Fox game.
I mean, that is sort of a problem with Nintendo, where, like, so many of their classic franchises, their last really good entry was the N64, because the N64 is the last time where the innovation was 3D.
Right.
Where the innovation was like, we're gonna make this the game that existed before, but in 3D.
Yeah.
And they pulled it off pretty much universally, and ever since then, every one of their major franchises has been, okay, we're gonna do this again, but with this dumbass innovation gimmick that's gonna ruin the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're gonna have to play around it, or you're just gonna have to pretend it's not there, and that has happened with Star Fox probably worse than any other franchise, maybe.
It feels like Nintendo's trying to ruin
immediately
the franchise.
I just don't think they know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And I think the management in particular, and I'll say it, I don't think Miyamoto knows what to do with this, and never has. Whereas I think forcing Rare to cram that into Dinosaur Planet is insane.
It really was.
Like, it didn't get you anything.
Nothing.
It earned you nothing there.
It was stupid.
And
yeah,
then,
I mean,
like,
all it did was sully the Star Fox brand. That's all it did. It make it confusing.
And, like, its shining moment of the 3DS was Star Fox 64 3D.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just do it again, but make it,
but now it's
the gimmick kind of adds something, at least a way. And, I mean, I guess technically the last Star Fox game was Star Fox 2, because they released that with the micro console.
Right.
That was unreleased, I think, Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
I played this game through its entirety on the demo kiosk at Toys R Us. Like, almost every time I went there, I was just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna play you."
Yeah.
Even though I owned it, I was just like, I was going to play it in front of people.
Show them how to play.
It's like an arcade. It's an audience.
Show them my chops. Yep. So here's the thing. Like, Nate the Hate is saying that this game is coming this summer, within like 2 or 3 months. Like, and then Ocarina of Time is a fall game. So we may be playing a new Star Fox here in the next like 60 days.
I don't think. I mean, I'm thinking June, July. I mean, we already know what their May release is.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then he also said that we should expect presentations for Splatoon Raiders and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave here in the next like month and a half or 2 months.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is July.
Yeah.
Because I think didn't Star Fox 64 come out on like July 4th or something?
I think it did come out in the summertime.
I want to say it was, because all my memories of playing that when it came out we were in the pool. It was all summer stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, now I think about it, when my buddy got an N64, it was the summertime.
We probably should not have been holding game controllers in the pool.
No.
When you think about it. But we were dumb kids.
Yeah, we all were dumb kids at one point. So, anyway, Star Fox and Ocarina of Time on the way to Switch 2. And now the question becomes, is this something that will put people over the top to buy a Switch 2?
No.
I see, like, online all the time, people are like, there's no games for Switch 2, there's no games, which I completely disagree with. Like, I mean, I get it, it's only been around for a year, but for the first year...
They put out tons of stuff. It's just not everything is appealing to everybody, which is fine. Like, that's any library.
You need variety.
But Star Fox is not a system seller.
But Ocarina of Time might be.
Ocarina, yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, will either of these two games move units for... Or convince people who have been sitting on the fence for Switch 2 to finally get one?
Ocarina might.
Yeah.
Ocarina might. If it's enough of an up... If you look at it and you're like, oh, wow. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Like that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I think they know that. I mean, you can do an upgraded version of the 3DS version and have it look like, hell, the Link's Awakening looked like that. I mean, I didn't love that art style, but like you look at it and you're like, oh, what's that?
Striking. Yeah. It caught your eye for sure. So we'll see. Let's see what you guys are saying. And in fact, if you're somebody who's been sitting on the fence and haven't bought a Switch 2, let me know if this is something that will get you over the top. Walking Dragon says Samus should be a secret character. In Star Fox, I'm guessing?
Star Fox. Yeah, I mean, you could.
That would be kind of cool if you're in a mission and she comes flying in her ship out of nowhere and just starts helping you and like wrecking shop.
You probably fly her ship, but her ship isn't really built to play in a game like Star Fox because it's hard to see. Our wings are designed as spindly as they are, so you can see past them.
Right. You can see what you're shooting.
And Samus's ship is a giant blob.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
You could do like a R-wing colored like red and gold, I guess. That would be fun.
Congram says, I just want more content. The games are awfully short. Star Fox games are short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they're really replayable. Like, it's all about, like, mastering each run.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that anymore.
I still do with that franchise for some reason. I still enjoy trying
How would you know? There hasn't been one in forever.
Well, because I told you, I still play Star Fox 64.
But I'm curious how you'll feel about a new one that you don't have an attachment to.
I mean, I just know. It's like I know where the smart bombs are. I know how to immediately get all the silver rings so I power up my blasters away.
But for a new game where you would have to intentionally choose to go back to it, months later, in a time when you're supposed to be playing new games for the next episode, will you make time for that?
That's tough.
That is difficult.
But Star Fox is different because it's like you start memorizing where the silver rings are because that upgrades your blasters. And without your upgraded blasters, it's hard to score well on the level. So that franchise is a little different. The way it designs its play and its loop and everything than other games. And I'm just explaining why I do go back and replay that franchise.
Yeah, I mean, that's just every shooter like. I mean, Panzer Dragoon's like that too. Like,
well, I mean, we don't get games like this hardly at all.
Panzer Dragoon's Zwei remake's coming this week.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, no, I mean, you're right that we don't. The lock-on 3D shooter is pretty dead.
It is,
and there's kind of a reason for that.
It's not, I mean, maybe that's why they don't make new Star Fox games.
That is part of it. Or it's certain. I think it's certainly why they constantly try to come up with another way to make the Star Fox game.
Yeah, Zen Shuriken says it would be cool to have different ships for different characters. Yeah, I think that's a good call.
I think so.
I like that idea.
More variety would definitely help with replay value, regardless of how long the game is. Vincent
says, and then you get the credits in an hour, and everyone complains about paying $70.
Yep.
Ammo Clip 2, thank you for subscribing. That's awesome. Retro Modern Gamer, the GameCube Star Fox games. It really kind of killed the franchise.
Because that was what was the other GameCube one?
What was the one where they had bazookas on their shoulder and they shot bazookas and there was like on foot like shooting gameplay?
Oh, that wasn't the Wii U. That was the one they gave away for free.
I don't remember.
I guess
that was the one made by by Bandai Namco.
No, it was the smaller. It was like a tower defense thing.
It also had the weird walker in it.
Right, because Namco also made like a arcade one.
Right.
There was. That's Armada.
I think
the one I'm thinking of was Assault. The 3DS one. I think the 3DS one with the strategy part is Assault. I liked Assault. Armada was mediocre.
Yep. Binge Watcher 5138 on YouTube says Star Fox Assault on GameCube was great except for some terrible parts.
Assault was the Namco shooter one and Armada was the 3DS one? I can't remember what the names of these.
PD Fly.
This is a problem, Nintendo.
It is a problem.
Just so you know.
Yeah. PD Fly 100 over on YouTube says Star Fox seems like the perfect franchise to make it a roguelike. Which is right.
Yeah.
That would solve the in an hour later, you're done with it problem.
Yeah, but...
it's a cheap way.
But what you just said, one of the things you like about it is you know where everything is. And that's not going to happen.
Learning where everything is, yeah.
So I would argue that you could certainly argue that you can make a standard Star Fox game campaign but you could have a rogue campaign
like a mode.
as a mode.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Like a procedurally generated Star Fox dungeon sort of thing.
And it wouldn't be that hard.
No.
It's really not that difficult.
No, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't even need it to be that good,
Right.
really. You
Yeah.
just need it to be different every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That's something if I was designing that game, I would definitely push for that.
Yeah. Bring back Starwolf and his crew of antagonists. Of course you have to.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we've killed them.
I can't let you brew that, Starbucks.
What about that Super Nintendo game that was never released but finally came out to Nintendo Switch Online?
Starbucks
SNES Mini. Yeah.
They were talking about that before we mentioned that.
And then Zen Shuriken says, I really hope they do Star Fox justice this time. Me too, Zen Shuriken. I love this franchise, and they've really just kind of crapped all over it for the last decade and a half. So
yeah. People in there were saying no Star Fox until we get a Rogue Leader remake. I'm like, man, I can't believe they don't just release the collection of the Rogue Leader games that Factor 5 finished.
Yeah.
Like what is Lucasfilm doing?
I don't know.
Like just put some finishing touches on that and throw it out there, and you will sell 1 million+ copies, like all by itself. Rogue, there is a hunger for the Rogue Squadron games.
Yeah, for sure.
I do not understand why they won't cash in on that.
Agreed. Erebus Jones says, no to Switch 2 until we get a Rogue Leader remake or a new Advance Wars. I mean, we got Advance Wars on Switch. Like, you may just want to play that on your Switch too.
Yeah, Advance Wars got its entry a while
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Retro Modern Gamer says, I heard Nintendo is pissed about these leaks ruining their surprises. Star Fox appearing in the movie makes sense if a new game is coming. So here's the thing. Nintendo hasn't said anything about this, although I'm sure it's probably angry and disappointed. That information actually came from Kit Ellis, who used to work at Goldman Harris, which is Nintendo's PR company. And he does a podcast with the Asian girl that he used to do a little show for Nintendo with, where they just hang out on the couch. And anyway, they left Nintendo, and now they continue doing the podcast. And really, the whole podcast is them just saying, we used to work at Nintendo. Nintendo's going to be mad about this. Like, that's pretty much what their whole thing is, and they've done it again here.
I mean, I'm sure they're not thrilled, but it's like, what's that? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to change it. They're not going to cancel the game. They're
I
not
wish
gonna,
we could just
remove
get over
Star
this.
Fox from the movie. Like, who cares?
We could get over this whole weird secrecy thing in the games industry. Like, it's the only industry that acts like this. It's so
just
silly.
because of how long it takes.
Yeah.
Like, that's all. Like, you're talking about production times that can go on half a decade sometimes. Like,
yeah.
You announce you're in production for some movie and you own the rights to that movie, and but again, the fact that you cannot copyright gameplay is an issue.
Yeah.
I will also say the board game industry is a little bit like that. Like you find out about board games unless they're a Kickstarter, like 2-3 years out.
Yeah.
You find out that this thing's coming out probably like 3-4 months, maybe maximum 9 months before they come out. Because sometimes they're re-implementations of older games, but generally they'd be pretty easy to rip off if you figure out, okay, this is the mechanism and you can do that. So there, in terms of gameplay, there is a reason to keep things quiet until you're ready to sort of jump.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's just, but it's really not even the culture of secrecy that exists in the industry. It's really more the culture of parasites that grow up around the secrecy to sort of cash in on the idea that you're giving people secret information or giving inside information. Like, it's just,
We've been the beneficiary of that for various points of our career.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Milo Pintor says, Switch 2 owner here, and I regret it, but Ocarina would be nice. And Milo, my question to you would be, like, so if you're disappointed so far, my guess is you're waiting for a Mario and a Zelda. But after those come out, what then? Like, after you've played them for 40 hours, is the Switch 2, like, worthless then? Like,
no, because you got to play those games.
Yeah, but
it served its purpose. And also, people play these Zelda games forever. Like, I couldn't stomach Tears of the Kingdom after a certain point. But, like, there's people still playing. I know people with 300 hours in that game.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I wouldn't buy a Nintendo console just to play Mario and Zelda. Like, I don't like the other franchises as much. I have an open mind and I still appreciate them. And so I would never just buy a console to just play 2 games. Like, that seems insane. Like,
well, you're kind of hoping that you get more than 2, I guess.
Well, right. But, I mean, my point is that
like
they put out more than 2, and
right.
there have been really good games, but he's not interested in them. He's only interested in Mario and Zelda. And it's
Did he say that?
Well, I mean, they put out a ton of games already. It doesn't seem like he cares about it.
Doesn't mean you have to like all the games they put out. I mean, I think a lot of the games they put out have been underwhelming in terms of even if you were interested in them. Like, I certainly didn't like Donkey Kong, and I'm trying to think of what I didn't like Mario Kart very much. What else? I loved Pokopia. I didn't expect that. But I think that's, if I'm buying the system, I'm basically, okay, like in that mindset you're describing, I'm buying the system because I want a new 3D Mario and a new 3D Zelda. And maybe there'll be probably be other stuff I like. I mean, when I'm buying a Nintendo console, I'm certainly buying it just for Nintendo's games, and I'm certainly buying it for the Mario. I'm certainly buying it for the Zelda. I am hoping I get a Metroid, and I did get a Metroid, and I liked it fine. I'm hoping I get a Fire Emblem, and I'm getting a Fire Emblem in May. I will probably play the Pokemon game because I'm an idiot who doesn't learn.
No, we did get a Pokemon game already,
We did get Z to A.
I guess my point is, like, a lot of the franchises have come out already. And, like, if you're like, I'm disappointed in this, like, maybe you just don't like Nintendo's games.
Or maybe you just think Nintendo's games are lackluster right now. A lot of people didn't like Z to A, and I understand that. I don't agree with it.
Well, it's a big departure from traditional
Well, it's also
Pokemon.
not a mainline Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And, like, now you're waiting until next year for the next mainline Pokemon game, so there's some disappointment there, I think.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge anyone who's disappointed in the lineup so far.
I don't begrudge anyone for their opinion. They're entitled to it.
But you certainly can't argue that they're not supporting it. You can't say that they're not putting stuff out. They're taking shots. They're taking some pretty big swings in places.
I mean, from my perspective, I'm not disappointed in Switch 2 at all. Like, I have loved it. Like, I think it's probably one of the best first years of software for any console.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, the output quality quotient is very high.
Oh yeah, its quality's good, but like,
And the output number is very high.
It is, but that doesn't mean they're all good.
I didn't say that they were. I'm just saying, for the first year of a console, I think it's been a pretty good first year.
If I wasn't doing this show, I don't think I would have bought one yet.
I mean, you're not a big Nintendo fan.
Not huge, but I would probably buy one now before the price went up.
Definitely.
Because I know I will want the Zelda and the Mario. I mean, I probably would have bought it for Metroid already.
I think probably Pokopia might have got you.
It would not have.
Really?
Because I wouldn't have believed it until I played
it. I probably would have loaned it to you to prove it to you, because I also pretty much only use my Switch 2 for first-party games.
That would have deleted your save.
And once I'm done with them, I could just pass it on. So anyway, look, it's interesting to have this conversation. I'm sure Nintendo is having this conversation internally right now because it didn't hit its numbers for the holidays. So it's probably like, man, what do we got to do? You know?
I'm relatively confident I would have bought it for Metroid.
Yeah.
Because how often do you get a new Metroid
Once
Prime?
every 10 years.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
But then it would have probably sat there until Pokopia.
Yeah.
And then it would have sat there until Fire Emblem. And then when I was done with Fire Emblem, the next
Star
game
Fox, Ocarina.
Probably Star Fox and then Ocarina and then maybe whatever else they got in there. I probably would have played Pokemon Z to A at some point. Maybe not at launch.
Yeah.
But I think I would have played it. Yeah.
It's been a pretty good lineup, man. It's only been like 9 months. Like, I think people are just like completely irrational over this for some reason.
I mean, it's good. I mean, I think also it's $450. It's like it feels like more of an incremental move past the Switch one.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I think there's a lot of like comparing it to the Switch one and being like, what have I really gotten for my money over have I just stuck with the Switch one? And like, I mean, I do think that it's very noticeable, the difference between a lot of this stuff. I mean, I certainly see, yes, this could not run on the Switch 1.
Yeah.
Certainly not as well, at the very least. But I get it. $450 is a lot of money when you've already paid.
Still is. Even though it's way cheaper than the others, it's still a lot of freaking money.
Still a lot of money. I mean, it's what you were paying for it's $50 less than what you paid for the PS5.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when money was worth something.
Not anymore.
So, but I get. I mean, I don't know. I think there's plenty of room for someone who thinks the Switch 2 has been fantastic so far, and someone who thinks the Switch 2 has been slightly disappointing so far, to both be right.
Yeah.
I think those are both valid opinions depending on your taste and
your
things.
perspective. Yeah. All right, it's time to move on. We're going to talk next about what was probably the biggest video game release of the week. However, you never would have known that because
I have not seen this game mentioned this week. You know, I didn't even try. My whole social media feed is Crimson Desert now.
Really?
I haven't said anything about Crimson Desert. I haven't posted anything about Crimson. It's just my Facebook feed. I mean, at least it's not like chemtrails and like weird because that's usually what it is. It's like weird conspiracy bullshit. Because I block those and I think it takes that as interaction.
like, oh, you like
oh,
that?
you like it? That gets you to click on something, does it? Oh, we got a block button over here. But now it's just Crimson Desert. It's wall-to-wall Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
I did not know this game came out until you asked me if I played it today.
Yeah. Well, that's because there are no reviews for this game at all. And
that would explain that.
Yeah. So Life is Strange Reunion is probably going to be the last Life is Strange game. And Square Enix did not send out early review code to anyone. And there's a reason why. So...
Well, is it because of the game or because Square Enix is slowly collapsing like a flan in the cupboard?
It's a little bit of both, but
Okay.
it's mostly the game.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pause the B-roll here before we get going because this is a very important screen to show you. So Life is Strange Reunion is appropriately named because it is the reunion of Max and Chloe. Now, you may be saying, Shane, how in the hell can those two reunite with each other? Because at the end of the first game, you basically had to choose whether to kill Chloe or save your town. And I guess people have been wondering all this time, like, what was going to be the canon? Like, how do you resolve that? When people found out that this was going to reunite those two, they're like, but how do you do it? Like,
I think in
my game, Chloe's dead.
I think in the comic books, they went with they let the town die.
No. Well, they didn't choose here, Matt.
And in
That's not how they
and
went
it
about
seemed like in the last game sequel that they went with Chloe dying. Like it felt like because they did the previous game with Max, and it felt like Chloe was gone. It felt like Chloe was gone, and it seemed to imply that the town was still there.
Well, Matt, the way that they handled it was a complete and total cop-out. Basically, the last game, Double Exposure, that you were just talking about, where Max is like a professor at a college on this campus, Max had the ability to jump between two different realities. And she had met a new friend named Sophie at the school who died. And to bring Sophie back to life, she figured out that she could control this other dimension. So she would go into this other dimension,
It does have 17 reviews on Metacritic now.
Okay.
So they finally come around.
And she changed things in the other dimension so that Sophie would stay alive. Well, basically, how they're handling this is they're saying that, okay, when Max went and jumped through those timelines for Sophie, she didn't know it, but she was also jumping through that timeline with Chloe. And when you saved Sophie, you also saved the timeline where Chloe was actually alive. And so Chloe is, in fact, alive. And what happened was...
And the town is also
And
alive?
the town is also still there.
Oh, time travel.
They completely copped out. And basically what happened
That's what
was...
we call a retcon.
Oh, it's insane, dude. And so ultimately what happened was, after that, they broke up because there was too much damage and they couldn't sort their relationship out. So Chloe becomes a roadie and a manager for some punk rock band and is on tour or whatever. Max becomes a college professor and is teaching students at her school. Well, in this, like, Chloe starts having these horrible nightmares that always end with Max killing her. So she decides to set out and find Max, finally. Max is still doing her college thing. She goes on, and I don't want to get too far in the story here because I need to explain this first, what we're seeing on screen right now. So when you start this game, these 5 pictures come up, and you basically get to pick right then what your choices were, if you can even remember what your choices were when you played them. Regardless, you can pick whatever you want here. You can set it up however you want. You can choose who you romance. Like, it doesn't matter what you actually did. It's not pulling in your saves from the other game. You're just telling the game, this is what I did. And so you go through these 5 different people here. You explain what your relationship was with them.
I love the rejected picture of her. This is like,
And the crazy part is, like, once you get into the game, those decisions don't actually hold up. Like, there's some stuff that
It's very funny that in the series it's all about making these choices. Like, the direction they went with this was, we're just going to negate all those choices.
They did. That's exactly what they did. Like, they made the entire franchise irrelevant, what you did.
I mean, I thought this looked bad from the first. I mean, even if I'd known this was coming out this week, I probably wouldn't have paid money for it.
I did.
It's just, I don't know. Like this,
it's sold out everywhere, by the way.
This franchise really seems to have lost its way early.
I could not find a physical version of this game anywhere. It was sold out at every store.
I can't imagine they made too many.
I don't think so either, but it was sold out everywhere. Like, people went and bought it. Like, I didn't even believe they got it stocked. They're like, no, we had it. People just came in and bought it. I was like, really?
It's one of those things where I mean, games that are not like the big AAA releases, stores starting to get like 2 and 3 copies.
I know. It's crazy, man. That's all they're getting. That's all they're stocking.
It's like the old days trying to get like Koei games or something.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Like if you didn't pre-order it, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because all the it was like we got enough to fill pre-orders, and we got 2 other copies besides that, and that's it. And 2 people bought it at lunch, and you're screwed.
Yep. So basically, what happens is she starts having these nightmares. She starts driving across the country to go meet up with Max. Max has become an accomplished photographer, and she is leaving the school for a weekend to go and basically show her work at a town miles away. She goes there. It's been 3 days into her trip. She starts getting text messages from the school saying all hell is breaking loose. She jumps in her car, drives back to the college immediately. She gets there. The whole campus is burning down. And nobody knows why. No one knows who started the fire or anything like that. Well, the thing is like...
We didn't start the fire.
Yeah, we didn't start the fire. So anyway, Max has this ability to look at a photograph and then warp into that photograph. However, it is her most dangerous power. And when she's not supposed to do it, like, ever. When she does, it needs to be a good reason because it causes all these other issues. This causes her to look into the photo and go back in time to before the fire is started at the college. And that's the game. Chloe shows up at the college. Max is already at the college. She has 3 days to try to figure out who started the fire and keep the fire from happening and keep the campus from burning down. And that's the game.
Feels like, if that's what you got to do, why wouldn't you just wait, hang on to the photo, and wait until they figure out who set the fire,
Matt,
and then go back in time and do that?
Matt, this game, the plot in this game is Swiss cheese. Having a cell phone in this game would solve 95% of the problems.
Well, because what does this take place? Like,
no, they have them. They have them. They just forget that they have them. You have a cell phone in this.
How far after...
Where you're checking text messages and stuff.
How far after the first one is this? Oh, no.
Like a year after double exposure, roughly. Or no, it's like a year and a half after the first one. Sorry.
Okay, so it's like early 2010s?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. They have cell phones in this. You can hit the pad and bring up your cell phone with all your text messages and everything in it. And there are so many instances in this game where you're like, just call them on the cell phone. Like, why are you driving across town hoping somebody's going to be there? Like, there's just stuff like that littered throughout the entirety of this game.
Was it written by Gen Xers?
I don't know.
Because that is what you used to have to do.
Now, to be fair, this game was started by Don't Nod. Now it's being developed by Deck 9, so it must...
I mean, I have never liked any of really Deck 9's things.
They're up and down.
Before the Storm, I did not think was very good. Mm-hmm. Certainly, I do not think Deck 9 handles Chloe very well.
I'd agree with that.
Did they make True Colors, or was that...
They did, yep.
I like that one.
And Double Exposure. They made both of them.
I was not impressed by Double Exposure.
Double Exposure, I liked the mechanics because there were new gameplay mechanics. Mm-hmm. In this, in the last
But I just wish I don't think they should have messed with the first game's characters.
I agree, yep. So...
I also liked 2. I thought 2 was good. With the brothers.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I don't care for the episodic thing, but once it was done, I think it all comes together pretty well.
Yep.
But I think messing with Max and Chloe is a mistake because, for one thing, that story was told.
Yeah.
Like, stop. I mean, Max had a cameo in 2, and that was fine.
This is a last-ditch effort to save the franchise,
I guess
basically.
Because there hasn't been a lot of interest in it after that.
Well, they said Double Exposure did not sell well.
So you should double down.
Well, they thought bringing these 2 back together would do it. They were like, however convoluted it's going to be to get them back together, that's what we're going to need to do, or the franchise is going to die.
I mean, I would be one of the people that you maybe be hoping to snag with that, and I saw this. The first trailer was like, oh, so you're desperate. Like, you just... This is the Avengers Doomsday of Life is Strange.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, this game has hardly any new gameplay mechanics. Double Exposure did. You could go to this other reality, and there was, like, this whole puzzle element around going to this other reality, manipulating stuff, going back to the other reality and seeing what it did. In this, that's gone.
Why is the photography professor running up to the burning building?
Because people are dying inside the building.
Where's the fire department?
All the students are dying. Right. There's cops out there.
Fire department.
How
did she get back by getting a text before the fire department could get there?
Well, she used her powers to rewind the time or whatever. So that's the thing. In this game, she has no new powers.
Maybe she should have gone like Sarah Connor in the meantime and be like, maybe I need to get in really good shape in case I need to like save people's lives or something.
Well, she completely forgets her ability to go through the 2 timelines that happened in the prior game. All she can do in this is rewind time and jump through photographs, which she doesn't do because the photograph thing is just a setup for the game. She won't do it again. But Otherwise, the only new mechanics in this are 2 conversation things. Like, this is crazy. So anytime Max and Chloe talk to each other, you control both of the characters and what they say to each other. You can basically make their relationship whatever you want. You can make them hate each other. You can make them fall back in love again.
I mean, you can. That's an interesting idea. Like what was it? The Divinity Original Sin games did that. The ones where you made 2 characters and you could basically they had arguments with each other.
Yeah.
And you could choose which side was what. Yeah.
This game has that. It also has this thing where you can kind of get in an argument with somebody and like make points and win the arguments and win the discussions. But otherwise, that's it. There's nothing else new in this game. It is just rewinding. And this game, in a nutshell, is wander around a room, click on all the things that light up. If that doesn't work, rewind time. And that's pretty much the whole freaking game. Like, you go into a room, like, for example, like her scientist buddy from Double Exposure, who's this genius or whatever, a lot of the game takes place in his lab. And I can't tell you how many times I had to go around the perimeter of that lab waiting for the stuff to ping to figure out if that's the thing that I need to use to solve whatever quandary has been presented to me. Also, how about this? There are moments in this where you just sit and listen to a podcast. It's insane. Okay. This is the other new mechanic, Matt. Podcast? Listening to freaking podcasts.
You can't, like, get up and walk around?
Well, no. If you get up, the podcast ends. You have to sit there and listen to the podcast.
That is not how podcasts work.
And this is
We're not going to stop talking because we figured out you stood up. I promise.
This is her friend's lab I was talking about. The black guy is her friend from Double Exposure. And what's happening here is that there's a new president of the university, and he hates Max because Max is not actually a professor. She doesn't have the degrees that she needs to be a professor. She's just an instructor or whatever. So he's trying to get her out because he's some crazy weirdo academic.
I think he said that because he was doing the air quotes.
Right.
Yeah.
He's some crazy academic who wants to get her out. So that's kind of a little subplot. But a lot of the subplots in this never pay off. Like, that whole thing with him, like, it never really pays off at all. Like, he eventually, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, a lot of the subplots in this, they don't really result in anything. So you end up doing what I'm doing right now, which is why I sped this up. You just go around the room looking for stuff, look at it until you find the one thing that triggers the next cinematic. And that's pretty much the whole freaking game. Matt, last night, I was almost done. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was like 11:30 or midnight or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to finish this. And I didn't. I fell asleep. Within like 30 minutes, I fell asleep. And I was supposed to be at like the climax of the game. It's supposed to be so exciting and keeping. It did not. Like, this is the worst Life is Strange game of them all. It is regressive. It goes back. It is like takes away stuff that other games had. It has the worst story. It has the most unbelievable story. There are still crazy technical issues with this franchise. There's crazy LOD issues where you're like looking at a wall and the picture will appear on the wall, or their hair will pop in. Anytime in cutscenes when they go to cut to a new character, their hair moves. It is the weirdest thing ever. And you can see they're still using the same engine. The characters don't look much better than they ever have. It really, really disappointed in this game, and I can absolutely see why Square Enix has not sent this out, and there are no reviews out there. Like, there are no reviews from major outlets. There may be little guys that have put up their stuff that bought the game and finished it in a day or whatever, but, like, none of the big boys have put up reviews yet. So that shows you they did not send it out early to the press at all.
I don't see my good Game Rant is.
Exactly.
I kind of recognize that. That's the highest review is Game Rant.
Here's the other thing. My wife laughed at this.
What is DualShockers anything?
It's a
heard of them.
PlayStation fan site.
Yeah. Oh, a Game Spew is waiting. Don't worry. It's okay.
My wife laughed at this game the entire time I played it. She's like, oh my God, that is the dumbest line, or that is the worst voiceover. She laughed at the voice work in this, the script writing in this. She just laughed at this game the whole time I played it.
It's sitting at a 73 right now.
That is way too high. Way, way too high. Like, this game is like a 4. I'm not kidding.
The user score is 8.3.
Wow, that's insane. In my opinion. But the writing is bad. There's plot holes. There's all kinds of weird logic issues. Like I mentioned,
most of the reviews are not. The user reviews are not in English.
Interesting.
So maybe the translations are better in Portuguese.
Or maybe they hired a bot farm because this game was made in Europe, I believe. I don't know. But regardless, those numbers are way too high. There's also the same stuff happens here where, like, there aren't that many big decisions, but, like, there's those moments in this game where they give you a big decision where the screen pauses and you have, like, a binary choice, choose one or the other. Like, there's not enough of those at all. And when you make those choices, you have no context to make the choice. And this happens in a lot of games like this, where they're like, hey, make this decision, even though you don't have enough information to actually make the decision. And then you make it, and, like, it turns out, like, it's nowhere near what you ever would have dreamed.
Yeah, or it's just like... It's like, you know, like you're in some kind of conflict, and it's like make a compromise, take the initiative, and take the initiative is like you pull out a gun and shoot them, and you're like, that's not what I thought that was gonna be.
Like every decision in this game is like that. Like you cannot get where you want to go making decisions in this game. Like you'll say, well, this will get me this, and then you make the decision, and it does not get you that.
I have no idea how old anyone is in this game. Like all the faces look the same age.
Well, these are her students.
Yeah, I can tell because they're dressed like that.
Right.
But they look the same age as her. And I know she's supposed to be pretty young.
But again, like this game is like the lab where you go back 4 different times. This area where you go back 4 different times, and there's different people there, but you got to run around the same pathways, talking to people, waiting for something to happen that fires off a cinematic that lets you know you talked to the right person and it sent the game going forward. It's the same crap you see in a lot of these games. This one is definitely no different. The other thing I should add too, this is all one game. There's no episodes at all. You just get it, you play it. I've played it for around 7 hours at this point. I think I'm pretty much at the end of the game. Maybe I got another hour to go or something like that. So I have not seen the conclusion of this yet, but I'm pretty close to the end. Again, as I mentioned, I fell asleep last night trying to finish it off. But there are no episodes in this. It's all one game. And I'll be honest with you, Matt, like I think maybe this franchise is better episodic. Because the gameplay is so simple or just not there at all. And most of your time spent, quote unquote, playing this game is just watching cinematics for the most part. Like, there's not that much interaction and gameplay in this. So it wears on you pretty quick. Like, it might be nice to just play an hour and a half of this, say goodbye to it for 2 months, and then come back 2 months later and play another hour and a half of it. Playing this like a normal game where you just start it and just keep going, I don't think it does the game.
I mean, I've always felt like a lot of these adventure games are like that, except for the really good ones.
Yeah.
They really pull you through.
Yeah.
Especially because the episodic ones do tend to give you some natural stopping points.
Yeah.
Which is about all, you know, I'm not a binger, really, for most stuff, so that does track. Also, I guess this must take place in 2024.
2024.
Because
what was the year of the prior games?
Well, the Double Exposure's 10 years after the original, and that was like 2013-ish.
Okay.
Because
this is a year after Double Exposure. That adds up.
Because they were born in like the mid 90s. And also I knew that because the calendar she looks at, August 1st is a Thursday, and so that has to be 2024.
Well,
because that was when August 1st was a Thursday last.
Well, that does add up because this is 1 year after Double Exposure. So if 2023 was Double Exposure, 2024 would be this.
10 years after 2013 for the first one, 10 years later, and then 1 year later. Yeah, that does.
It also makes sense that when their relationship started, they were tweens.
Right.
And now she's a professor at college, so
yeah, she's almost 30 in this.
Yeah,
so.
Some time has definitely passed between like
not a lot of lines on the face for almost 30. But.
One could be so lucky.
Although I guess the nasolabial folds do start when you're 25, but only if you smile a lot. And Max is not a smiler.
She's not a smiler at all. The other thing I will say, Matt, to just prove how little, not just this franchise has moved forward.
Everybody has really good posture.
Yeah. But this genre, it just shows how little this genre in general has moved forward. There is a section in this game that is nearly identical to the Babelfish machine puzzle from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Literally the first adventure game I ever played. It was a text adventure game. In that game, in Hitchhiker's Guide, you need to get this fish out of a machine that will go into your ear and let you translate and understand alien languages.
That's one of the most famous moon logic puzzles in text adventure history.
Yep. And one of the end results is like you go through all this, the fish flies out, but it like flies away. You have to figure out a way to
flies out the window, or it lands back in the vending machine, or it falls down a drain. Like there's like 14 different ways you can lose the fish.
Yep. And solving it is figuring out how to get the fish. In this, there's a same puzzle. He's like, hey, I need you to prove that your powers are powerful or whatever. He's like, there's a mug inside this locked cabinet. Get it out. And so he hands her a screwdriver. First time she does it, she opens it up. It falls out and smashes on the ground. Then your job becomes making sure that that mug doesn't shatter when it hits the ground. Just like the Babelfish puzzle in the first adventure game I ever played. And I was just like, really? This is 30 years later and I'm doing the same crap still? Like,
It's 40 years later.
40 years later. I mean, I'm crazy disappointed in this game. And I did pay for this myself. It's $40. If you're like a crazy hardcore fan of this franchise, you're going to buy it no matter what because you just want to see how it all wraps up.
Like, I mean, there's YouTube videos for that.
Yeah, and that's what I would recommend, is that you just watch this played on YouTube. There is no...
Or wait for it to be $19,
right,
which seems like probably by the end of the year.
It may be by the end of the summer. It may be $20. Otherwise, there's very little redeeming value in actually playing this game yourself. Like, I didn't feel anything from actually doing the stuff in this game versus if I had watched it on YouTube or whatever. Like, it had no more impact on me at all because the gameplay is so slight and irrelevant. So, to me, this is a huge disappointment. I say steer way clear. Even if you are a fan of Life is Strange, I am. Like, I have liked this franchise. I have played all of them. I played Double Exposure. I played True Colors. This game is just a huge, huge letdown. It really just feels like a cash in. Like they're just trying to just make their last buck off of this dying thing. Like,
well, I mean, it's also like, isn't this kind of like part of that wave of like lower budget games that Square's not going to do anymore?
Yeah,
so
it
there's
is
probably a decent chance they're just kicking this out the door.
Yeah,
and calling it a day.
This is another example, though. We talk about it all the time. If there aren't reviews, there weren't previews for this either. There was like one interview with the voice actors that play Chloe and Max, and that's all Square Enix.
Is it the
out.
original Max?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't get Ashley Birch.
No. So, and you can tell. You can definitely tell. There's a difference. But I think generally the voice acting in this is bad. Like, there's a character later on in the game, like, you get mixed up with this, like, cult in the game, and one of the leaders of the cult is this dude named Joey, and you're trying to figure out, like...
Joe the cult guy.
Joe the cult leader.
Who didn't know Joe the cult guy?
You're trying to figure out where their big ceremony thing is that night, and I swear to God, his lines are AI. He puts the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. And
that's what cults do.
I guess, maybe? I don't know. But the voice acting in this, it's
actually pronounced Scientology.
That's pretty good. But yeah, the voice work in this is terrible, even for the main characters. Like, even Max, after a while, just wore on me. Because it's just like she's just monotone. She has like one tone.
I mean, I kind of feel like Max has always been like
You're right.
that.
But I feel like maybe after like game 8, I've finally gotten sick of it. So
maybe you'd hope in 10 years she'd, I don't know, learn to enunciate or mask better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, give me a vocal inflection.
Yeah. But it's just that same like the whole game. Like that kind of mopey.
That would have been a more interesting reason that guy at the college is more against her being a professor, because it's just like, you're terrible at you don't project any kind of authority. Like, you're not a leader of the classroom.
You're not dynamic. Like you're just like
yeah, like you need to get the kids interested and excited about this stuff, and they're not going to be excited if this is like this weird mopey weirdo.
Yep. So I say steer way clear of Life is Strange Reunion. It is a reunion you do not want to attend.
They also don't, I mean, maybe they talk about, I didn't finish Double Exposure, but like there's an argument, it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy concept that some, like, I think some short stories have explored. The idea that if you have access to time travel, not necessarily like Back to the Future style time travel, but like sort of, but like especially the kind that Max has, where it's an innate power where you can just, like, something bad happens, you can back up and fix it immediately or change it. I mean, unless it's a falling coffee mug, apparently. That makes you something other than human. Like, you are no longer experiencing life the way humans experience life, and it puts you outside of the human experience in a way that arguably makes you a different kind of being. And it may be not necessarily better or whatever, but just different, and maybe in an alienating way. Like, but there's certainly a temptation to look down on the little pawns that you can decide whether they live or die. And Max clearly takes that responsibility very seriously, and that's why she's trying to she instinctively reverses time to save the burning building, etc. But wouldn't it be more interesting if like Max had kind of lost her connection
Yes.
to humanity?
Yes.
And like maybe Chloe has to like bring her back?
Yeah. What if Max was helping the thing burn down?
Like what
and
if
then Chloe shows up to stop her?
Yeah.
Like there's a million things you could have done.
What if the reveal is that like Chloe's back in the timeline and Max still doesn't know about it?
Right.
And like the only person, there's like a thing where it's like Max has gone. I mean, I guess it's a little Rick and Morty, but it's like Max has gone, we're detached from humanity, doesn't see people as people anymore, has become kind of a sociopath, and the only person that could ever bring her back from the edge is Chloe.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Chloe's alive
Yeah.
because of the weird stuff she was doing in the timeline. That's a much more interesting premise to me.
Here's the thing, though.
It's also a more interesting climax.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's bigger. Like, what you're describing is yet another mystery in a school. Mm-hmm. What bigger? Make it, plus it.
Max has also known that Chloe is alive the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And we've played these other games where she acted like she was gone. The whole thing is just trash. It is trash. This
And
game
it's the same.
trash.
Was that Deck 9 who made Double Exposure?
Yes.
So, like, it's not like it was a new developer. It's like, oh, we didn't like the way that worked.
I'm sure Deck 9 thought they were geniuses when like, oh my god, we can bring back Chloe because she jumped the timelines in our new game. Oh my god, we're freaking geniuses. Oh,
So
you're not.
So the time travel and Double Exposure changed Max's past?
It wasn't time travel. She could go to different
Jumping
timelines
timelines.
at the same time. Yeah, so those puzzles, like you could like go into the other world and like eavesdrop on people because they couldn't see you there, and you could use that information, go back to the original timeline, and then use that information to move forward. Like that's how it worked, but it was always at the same time.
But how did Chloe end up alive in her timeline? Or is she in a different timeline?
They don't explain how her dual timeline was connected to Sophie's. They're just like, oh, because they both know Max. It's like, okay, like.
So did Max live through the life of being in a relationship with Chloe who survived or not?
What do you mean?
Like, if the new timeline or the whatever happened leads to Chloe surviving, what's its name, Bay, whatever the
like
name.
she knew Chloe was alive the whole time.
Right. But did she live? Did the Max we play as in Double Exposure live that life, or did it change around her? And she like the way Marty McFly did not live the life where his parents were more competent and had money, and he got the nice truck and stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Like did she come back to
was
that?
Was she living the alternate timeline?
Did she live the alternate timeline? Now she's in the new timeline, and she doesn't actually have the physical memories of having been in that relationship with Chloe, or did it change
she
entirely around
her memory still. Like she remembers that, but she's known all along that like after she made the decision, both Chloe lived and Arcadia Bay remained. Like she's known that all along. And we played these subsequent games afterwards where they just conveniently hid that. No, it never came up in conversation.
So that happens before Double Exposure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Double Exposure, she's already at the school teaching. She's already a professor in training.
But the
basically.
actions of Double Exposure are not what caused the timeline to change to make Chloe live through the events of 1.
They said that, yes, when she did that thing with Sophie, somehow it affected time in the past as well and made sure that she was still alive. It's insane. The whole thing is convoluted and insane. Like I said, you start digging into it, you realize there's just plot holes everywhere.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be at least one plot hole in a time travel story because time travel is impossible.
Yeah.
Except forward.
Right.
So the instant you do that, you are introducing at least one plot hole.
Just organically.
The trick of a good time travel story is to disguise that plot hole enough that nobody cares about it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of plot holes in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the story is not the time travel.
Right.
The story is the characters.
The characters,
The time travel is the device that gets you to the story.
Which is kind of the same here, but...
That's what the original Life is Strange was.
This
more and
really
more,
not.
the time travel is the story.
Yeah,
in
it
these.
is.
Or the ability is the story.
No, you're
in
right.
these. And that is sort of a problem because that is also why Back to the Future 2 is the worst Back to the Future movie.
you're right.
Because this time travel is the story now.
Yeah.
The DeLorean becomes a character. It is not just the plot
vehicle.
device. Literally the vehicle that gets you to the part you care about.
Right.
The part you care about is the thing that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that is a problem.
This is a problem. Yeah, I think this franchise is dead.
I would agree with.
I think this is the last one. So if you can
come
back from this,
the last one, unless and until someone buys the IP from them and tries again.
and tries to revive it again.
But I mean, even the remake they did of the first game didn't turn out too well. Then it kind of buried that too because it didn't turn out very well. So I don't know, man. It was just sort of like you got a good game and you got a great game and a couple of good ones out of it, and maybe it's best to just sort of cut bait and call it a day.
I'm waiting to see who's going to innovate this genre. I've been playing this genre, like I said, since the 80s, text adventures. Like, I'm still doing the same stuff 4 decades later. Like,
I mean, I would look, what is the name of that company? The company that did Avowed, and, I mean, they're point and click. They're not like this. They're more traditional. They've done 3D stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Wadjet Eye.
Okay.
Is the name of the company. Not Avowed. I gotta look at my Steam.
Erebus says the best time travel story ever is Star Trek DS9: The Visitor.
That is very good.
Said if you can watch that without
true.
crying like a baby, you aren't even human. Interesting.
That is definitely one of the best. I would agree with that. I gotta look up my damn library. By name, I will find it.
Other graphical issues. The lighting in this game just turns on and off. You'll be
I
watching
saw
a
some- I saw that.
cutscene,
I
and
saw
the
some of
light
that.
will just turn on and
And I
off.
saw some of this stuff where like it's doing that thing where people's hair flips.
That's what I
down
said.
At the beginning
When you
of
cut to
everything,
them in a
yeah.
cutscene, their hair is moving. It's like, what? That's been in that franchise for a while. They can't fix it. Maybe it's not worth fixing it. They're looking at it like,
Yeah,
why?
you probably have to dig pretty far into that to fix that.
If it's been in like 6 games, yeah, they just haven't been able to pull it out of their code or whatever.
Unavowed, that's what it's
Oh,
called.
okay, gotcha.
Not Avowed. That was the other
Well, I
one.
was like, Obsidian made Avowed, and I knew you weren't talking about Obsidian.
No,
so.
it's Unavowed. So, but I believe it's called Wadjet Eye. They make.
So you're telling me I should check out their games?
Yeah, they are point and click. They are more traditional, like Sierra, LucasArts style stuff. But yeah, Wadjet Eye. Every game they've made is good.
Okay.
All they make are point and click adventure games, and they're all good.
I'll check them out.
They vary in quality.
I need something.
The most recent one is Old Skies, but they all have a weird twist. They all have a weird fantasy or sci-fi element to them. I think they started with what was it? It was the games where you're the Blackwell Legacy games. No, their first one was the Shiva. You probably remember that. That was the one where you sit Shiva for your grandfather or your uncle or something. It's you're a Jewish guy. And
Yeah.
You remember that? It was like
that.
black
Yeah,
and
I
white.
do
It was like one of the
remember.
early like indie darlings
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
like 2006 or something.
I remember that game.
Yeah, so that was their first one, and then they
Okay.
made the Blackwell Legacy, which is a series. There's 4 of them, and they were they're point and click adventure games where I think your uncle or your ancestor is like a film noir detective from back in the day, and his ghost haunts you as like a young, like your granddaughter or something, and you solve mysteries together. And there's 4 games in that series.
Okay.
And a bunch of the Emerald City Confidential, which is a noir detective story and set in Oz. The Gemini Rue, which is a weird ass cyberpunk game.
I'll check them out.
They've done a bunch of them.
Okay.
I think there's actually Techno Babylon. That's a good one.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Shardlight, Unavowed, Strangeland, Old Skies, and then Nighthawks is coming sometime this year or next year.
Okay.
They're the most consistent adventure game developers in the business right now.
They got to be better than this trash.
Yeah, no,
I'll tell you that much.
it is. They don't get a lot of fanfare, but a new Wadjet Eye game is a reason to celebrate for an adventure game fan, especially if you're into the old, like if you like Thimbleweed Park or like the kind of the more retro stuff. That's what they do. Except it's like Wadjet Eye is like, what if point and click adventure games the style of LucasArts and stuff never stopped being made?
Yeah.
It's like they just make them like they never stopped.
Okay.
And they're great.
Great. All right, well, there you go. Final word is just stay far away from Life is Strange reunion. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk next about the big Xbox partner preview from this week. Just as a sign of the times, in the past, if Xbox had done a big presentation like this, it would have been the first topic in GameFace, without a doubt. But the times they are a-changing, and in fact, Matt, they have a-changed. Because watching this presentation was a stark reminder of all the big revelations that have happened in the games industry, because basically what we got was
They're finishing some contracts out, is what they're doing.
probably, but it was really just a glorified commercial for Game Pass, which, I mean, if honestly, that kind of makes sense. Like, if you're Xbox right now, is that what you should be doing? Probably.
Maybe. I mean, you've sunk a lot into it. You should probably like make one last hurrah.
Yeah. So what ended up being in this Xbox partner preview was a bunch of AA games and a bunch of indie games.
It's just so hard to like sell that at that price. Like they're showing you what all this is, and you're like, okay. Like if you don't say you don't know anything about it, you're like, oh, okay, and then you get hit with a yearly price, and you're like, fuck you,
$360.
That's crazy.
Here's my question, Matt. What happens if I
even
drop?
if you do the math and it works out, that's almost a console.
I know. What happens if I drop? Do I lose all of the Xbox Live games that I was getting free every month? Do they go away if I drop? What kind of a grace period do you have where you can drop and pick it back up and not lose your library?
Free games?
Yeah.
Like the ones that they were giving away monthly? Those you keep.
Forever and ever?
Those you keep, yes.
So I could drop my Game Pass subscription for 6 months and come back and they'd still be there?
They'll be there even when you're not subscribed.
Really?
The games
perpetuity?
The games they gave away monthly, starting with the 360 era, those stay forever. As I recall. PlayStations do not.
Right.
PlayStations go away.
So I thought Xbox were like that too.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good to know. So I could drop
all the Game Pass
stuff.
All the Game Pass stuff will go away.
Right.
But anything that they gave away as the monthly free game is
unless stay in my library
unless
forever.
they changed that a few years ago. I can't remember.
I'm not sure actually.
But like the 360 era until moderately recently, that went in your library permanently.
Yeah. So here's what I would say after watching this, and we're going to go through the games and talk about the big games that they showed. But what I would say is if this is the showcase is supposed to convince me to keep spending $30 a month on Game Pass, this is what I'm supposed to be spending $30 a month on? These games that were shown in this? It's insane. So we're going to go through. They did show a ton. The presentation was like 30 minutes. They showed like 20 games or something insane like that. But I've crunched it down to like 8 that I thought were worth talking about. And I put them in order of importance, or at least hype levels, or whatever you want to call them. My interest, at least my personal interest, and I think generally probably your interest as well. So the first game we're going to talk about is Stranger Than Heaven. We've talked about this game on GameFace. This should have been either the opener or the closer for this thing. Instead, it was just jammed in the middle somewhere. But this is the next game from the Yakuza team. This is the first real gameplay we've seen from this. Like in the past trailers would show just like one punch or one kick. This actually shows what the combat is like and gives you at least a vague idea of sort of the gameplay loop and how the game plays.
I will be shocked if this is not the best game in this show.
I agree.
In what terms of what finally comes out.
Uh-huh. So they also revealed in this that this game is set in 5 different time periods in 5 different cities. So Matt and I kind of figured out already before this that it jumped times.
I mean, when he walks out of the 20s juke joint and like there's neon everywhere, you're like, okay,
you have to be pretty stupid not to figure it out. But they have confirmed now that it does take place in 5 different time periods in 5 different cities. Now, obviously, this is from the Yakuza team, and this trailer hints at some of the Yakuza stuff, but it also, I don't know, like, I get a different vibe from this game than the Yakuza games.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell it's, like, you could just show this to me and I know it's them.
Yeah.
But it's not like Yakuza in another time period the way, like, the Ishin game was. Like, this they're doing something a little different here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could argue they were doing something a little different with Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, too. But, like, it's a very interesting take on. I mean, they are for a team that makes the same reuses assets and kind of does like almost puts out things like every year you get a new something from them. They are not afraid to take huge swings.
Yep.
No
perfect timing with the B-roll.
Yeah, no pun intended with the railroad hammer there.
Yeah. But this game looks awesome. I'm really excited for it. We don't have a release date for it yet. But actually what we do know is that there's a big event for this game coming on May 6th. So I guess Xbox is going to do a big blowout on this game eventually. But yeah, to me, hands down, the best thing in this whole partner preview was this game, Stranger Than Heaven. Now, a close follow-up, and I did not expect this, is The Expanse, Osiris Reborn. We've been waiting a long time for a new Mass Effect game, and this game sure looks a whole heck of a lot like it. How are you feeling about this, Matt?
I mean, it's kind of this and Exodus are sort of your two Mass Effect spiritual successors. Like, Exodus is going to be more like... I think Exodus is going to be more like the gameplay of Mass Effect, and I think this will be more like the story and decision space of Mass Effect. Because these are the people who made Rogue Trader.
This is Owlcat Games.
Yeah. And Owlcat is, again, sort of like Wadjet, one of the kept secrets right now. Like, they are really, really good at what they do.
Yeah.
And they have not quite broken out into the mainstream yet, but I think it's just a matter of time.
Matt, did you hear the Spiders filed for bankruptcy?
I did.
That's made me sad.
That is sad. They had something going, and I very much believe that they fucked up by making Greedfall 2 what it was.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
completely changing it.
Greedfall 2 should have been their next evolution of what a BioWare game could be. I think making the Souls-like and then a weird turn-based XCOM-y strategy, no.
Why? Yeah.
No.
Yep. This game looks hot, though, man.
No, it's
really
good.
does.
I think you can hopefully break out into kind of the wider Expanse fandom because it has the TV show and all. I mean, I think there's something here.
There's a beta coming on April 22nd as well. So it looks like we're going to get a chance to give this a go before we have to plunk down our money for it, which is important with new IP like this. And they did release a ton of information about it. Like, they gave a big plot synopsis. But I don't want to read through the whole thing because we have like a bunch of other games to get through. But bottom line is, if you're a Mass Effect fan, you should probably go on SIFTD, go to the game page for the Expanse Osiris Reborn, click the little gear next to its title, and select follow. And then everything that we curate from this game will pop up at the top of your SIFT, and you won't miss it. But you're right, Matt. There's 2 Mass Effect likes coming that look really, really cool. So, we're still waiting for Mass Effect 5. We may wait for the rest of our lives for Mass Effect 5. It's good to see that some of these smaller games are filling in the gaps. And I'll be honest, Matt, this is one game that would have made the cut in an Xbox presentation back when it was in its heyday. Like, this game legitimately would have made it. It probably would have been later on in the presentation or buried in the middle somewhere instead of being a headliner, but it would have made it in. Again, this game is called The Expanse Osiris Reborn. Also, is that based on the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I've never watched. But
TV show's good.
Is it?
Books are good.
Okay.
Like it's a solid hard sci-fi.
So that's
thing.
a good foundation to build on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear. Next up, they closed the show with a game called Artificial Detective. This game is coming in 2027. It does violate a big pet peeve that I have with video games where they make you fight robots. I generally hate games like that, but this one is really, really interesting. You basically are paired up with a little robot dog, and basically machines have taken over the world, and you're tasked with figuring out what happened to humanity, just like Pokemon Pokopia. Humanity's gone, and I think it's you, the little girl, and your robot dog. You're like a trio or whatever.
Oh, someone's going to sue you over that Gundam, son. Is this Namco?
No, this is a new studio called like Vivix or something.
Because you better change that fucking Gundam. They will, unless that's licensed somehow, they will get you.
This game doesn't have a publisher yet, so maybe that will create some synergy.
Because I was thinking about that, and because of in Life is Strange, that one, the professor, she has all the fake Gundam models and the fake Sailor Moon and I'm like, yeah, you got to do that so you don't get sued. And then she's just holding a fucking RX-78 Gundam. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, the robot that you play as in this is a detective. It is called Artificial Detective or whatever. And again, his gig is trying to figure out what the hell happened to humanity.
Well, maybe now they're working with Microsoft. Maybe they can team up with Bethesda, and the Robo Detective can team up with the Ghoul Detective from Fallout 4.
Yeah,
and you can do a buddy cop movie.
This is another one of those games, though, where it's like, hey, this is a brand new studio who's never made anything, and this game looks like it could be made by like BioWare or like some studio that's been together for like decades. Like, it's so easy to get up and make games that look good now. Like, it's really hard to judge when you watch one of these things, like which games are going to be good and which ones aren't, because they all look good now. Like, it's really crazy.
The tools are all very strong,
and
it really comes down to execution, like I always say.
Yeah,
and you don't really know that until you touch it.
Yeah, until you play these. So, no word on any sort of early access for this, but again, it's not coming until 2027, and it's called Artificial Detective. Next up, an IP from like the PS2 era that's actually based on an IP that's way older than that. Hunter the Reckoning Death Wish.
I am shocked we're getting another vampire game. Like, frankly,
I know.
Like World of Darkness, I thought that was over after Redemption 2.
After Bloodlines 2,
whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. But nope, this is set in the same universe. It's an action RPG where you play as like a vampire cop in New York City named Sergeant Shaw.
I'm glad he was able to work out the night shifts, I guess.
This is made by the team that made the RoboCop game, which Matt and I both really liked.
That was
it came
very
out
good.
a year and a half ago.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I guess it has been 2 years now. But Matt and I both liked that game, and this is from the same studio. And they did say that they are incorporating some of the elements of RoboCop, like the detective stuff, which was a part of RoboCop, which a lot of people probably forgot about. That stuff from there is going to be brought over into this game, so they are borrowing some elements from it. But I think, Matt, the last Hunter video game was in like 2002 or something.
Yeah, Hunter the Reckoning.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, Hunter the
like,
Reckoning.
It was like a twin stick shooter.
Yeah, it
right?
was. Yeah. This is an action RPG, and it is in first person.
I mean the Hunter property has been popular in the tabletop RPG space since then. That hasn't gone away.
Yeah,
I think they're on like 5th edition or something now. But yeah, you have not seen, and the Hunters, they've been in, there are Hunters in Bloodlines 2, there are Hunters in that werewolf game. They are part of the universe, but I didn't think we'd ever see a game centered on them again.
Yep. The development studio said that it pulls heavily from its tabletop namesake and other inspirations like Bloodlines, Baldur's Gate 3, and they said the TV show Supernatural is like the closest thing to this game. Does that make sense to you?
Of what?
The TV show Supernatural.
Yeah.
They said that is like the closest thing that this game is modeled on.
because they're hunters.
Yeah, although I didn't know that. I've never watched
That's the premise of Supernatural. The two brothers are
vampire hunters.
They hunt things.
Gotcha.
No, they hunt supernatural things.
Oh, okay. I've never watched
the
it.
early premise of Supernatural is that they are hunting. It's like Monster of the Week, X-Files style, hunting a different monster every week, and eventually they kind of fall into a ongoing story that becomes very much just angels and demons and heaven versus hell. But early on, the first 5 years are actually really, really solid. So the X-Files team basically split into two groups, and one group went and made Breaking Bad, and the other went and made Supernatural.
Wow.
And Supernatural was in Vancouver, so one of the fun things about Supernatural, if you are an X-Files fan, is you will see almost everyone who was ever on the X-Files show up in Supernatural. Any kind of
like
secondary or tertiary
and
role. It's like 10 years later you get to check in. It's like, oh, I'm glad they're doing all right. They're on Supernatural 10 years later.
Still getting gigs.
So you know exactly what that... Yeah, but it's very much Carry On My Wayward Son, Midwest rock and roll, driving the Impala, 73 Impala around, or whatever. I think it's a 71 Impala.
They did say this game has other monsters in it, too. It's not just vampires.
Yeah.
There will be other creatures that you hunt. So.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of creatures in World of Darkness. There's ghosts and warlocks and werewolves and fairies and changelings and anything you can think of. If you can think of it, it's in there.
Next up, a game called Alien Deathstorm. This is coming from Rebellion.
That's like a fake arcade game that would have been in The Simpsons in 1993.
This is coming from Rebellion, the studio that makes the Sniper Elite franchise, and then Atomfall, I think was their last game, that open world Fallout-ish.
Open world sort of semi-Fallout, semi-Bioshock communism thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which I always thought Bioshock should have done that. I always thought Bioshock is basically political commentary. I always thought they should have done a communism one.
Yeah. Well, this is a single player only.
Russian, set in Soviet Union in a volcano base. That's what, because you hadn't done fire yet.
Right.
You had air and you done water, you got to do fire.
Yeah. This is a single player, first-person shooter, horror shooter, obviously. And again, it's coming from the Rebellion team. They usually do the Sniper Elite franchise. It's good to see this studio busting out, but again, this is a AA studio. Pretty much every game this studio has ever made has been a AA game. And
they know where their bread is buttered.
I mean, that's my point, is that's where Xbox's bread is buttered now. Like, this is it. Mm-hmm. Like, this is its big third-party showcase, and these are the games?
Yeah.
But... I mean, PlayStation gets to pick of the litter now.
I mean,
Xbox gets
those
what's left
sniper
over.
games do pretty well for what they are.
Yeah.
And those guys, the Rebellion guys are nice. Like I go see them every E3. They're all very cool about stuff, and they know what they make.
Yeah.
And they know it is exact. They know it's the best of what it is.
Yeah.
And that is about as far as you go.
Well, the boilerplate description that they sent out with this reads: explore a devastated off-world colony which has been ravaged by a cataclysmic megastorm and overrun by bloodthirsty aliens. Using a combination of cunning and firepower, you must defeat the countless lurking horrors in a desperate fight for survival. Feels like that could have been the boilerplate for about 8,000 other sci-fi games.
That's about as generic as it gets, but it looks okay.
They did mention that the weather is a big part of this, and you can see in the trailer they kind of make a point to show you how the weather affects everything. It is called like alien death storms.
Right.
So it is related to the weather, and that's a mechanic inside the game.
It's only one word off of Alien Storm, which is a Sega arcade game back in the day.
It looks very much like Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not getting Aliens games either, so I'll take it. Whatever we can get it.
Apparently Alien Isolation 2 is never happening, so let's get on.
Although
it.
I think it is actually.
They keep threatening it. But
yeah,
it
never materializes.
Never actually materializes. I mean, we got the Fire Team thing and all that. They pop up once.
We're getting
in a while.
Aliens games here and there.
Here and there. Nothing amazing.
They're just not great.
Honestly, give those RoboCop guys. Give the RoboCop guys Predator or something.
Yeah.
Like see what
I would love that. Yep.
Because they also made a good Terminator game.
They did. Yep, that's for sure. Next up, Stalker 2 finally landed on PlayStation 5. There's a new expansion called Cost of Hope. It is a major paid expansion that's coming this summer 2026. Yep. It will allow you to explore 2 long-awaited regions that have been cut off for years that every stalker in the zone has dreamt of reaching. Again, this is written by the studio. Iron Forest and Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So, 2 new
areas.
Have
your mask on if you're drinking.
Yeah,
like you just pull it down every time. It's like you're not wearing it, but you're wearing it because you think it's cool, not because you're like,
The trailers for this game are some of the worst trailers I've ever seen.
It is very hard to like encapsulate this game in a trailer.
It is, but they make it about as uninteresting as they possibly could. They never show you fighting anything in these trailers. It's always this. Walking through a bunch of different environments.
Exploring the zone. Really and arguing with big men.
Seriously. Their trailers do a terrible job of getting me excited to play Stalker 2.
It would be very hard to show the action in this game and not give away that the action in this game isn't very good.
Yeah.
I mean, even that shot was just
looked janky.
There's no real impact to it.
Yeah. I think people play this for different reasons, though. It's all about like the prep and the... stalking, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine this pulling in too many new people.
Yeah.
Like I do know a couple of people that like might buy this for PlayStation, but they all know what Stalker is already. They just haven't played it in forever.
Yeah.
And like 2 of them are from Ukraine, so it's like that's cheating.
That is a little bit of a cheating, yeah. So anyway, that is coming summer 2026 to all platforms except for Switch 2, obviously. But now Stalker 2 is available for PlayStation and Xbox and PC. Next up, I feel like the well is running dry on South Korea and Chinese games, Matt. I think this may have been the breaking point for me. A game called Musa Dirty Fate. As soon as the action started in this, I was like, it's the next sortie game from China or South Korea. And as it turns out, I was right. This game is being developed in South Korea. It's another one of those games that looks at like an alt version of Korean history.
Man, we really have nailed dry vegetation in game engines these days, haven't we?
This is actually kind of a zombie game, although the story itself is that the whole area is starved, and so people have started eating humans, basically, because there's no other food to eat. But this is another hack-and-slash heavy game that's loosely based on either Chinese or Korean history, and I just feel like we don't need any more of these, Matt, at this point. Yeah, with nothing left to eat, man ate man. That was one of the quotes that they sent out for this game.
Next up, a Dark Souls game set in the Donner Pass.
Yeah. You will battle demons disguised as humans and the forces that allow them while uncovering the truth behind the legendary Imugi Now, whatever the hell that is. Only one thing remains to you. Reclaim your life. The only one you can trust is yourself. This game also, as far as like the games that are coming from China and South Korea, is one of the worst looking of them all. Technically, like I'm just wondering how long this can continue. This sort of pipeline of games that are centered on Eastern mythology or history or whatever. I just wonder if the Western market needs one of these every year. Or not?
Not really, and I feel like Phantom Blade Zero will probably be kind of the crescendo of that.
They have PlayStation's marketing money.
And I would imagine that given the success of Crimson Desert, that like now the hotness will be like, oh, we can like
make action RPGs.
We can make action RPGs replicating Eurojank, and that's what people want. Like, that's the next big trend.
Yeah,
but you're never going to be able to. Somebody was pointing out that like you're never going to see games that are influenced by Crimson Desert because Crimson Desert is just a giant soup of other things. I mean, like there's nothing in it you can point to and be like, I'm like, I guess the pill that resurrects you if you die instantly would be about it.
Yeah, the health system. Yeah,
but in general, it's a giant mix of
everything,
every other game. Yeah. So like you can't really be influenced by Crimson Desert because you're like, well,
it's been influenced by everything.
Yeah, we took this from that, except from Crimson Desert, except Crimson Desert took it from The Witcher 3, so it's just taking from The Witcher 3.
5 other games, yeah. So anyway, that is called Musa, Dirty Fate. No word on a release date for that, although I think it's coming in 2027. And now we're getting really to the bottom of the barrel. Next up, Serious Sam Shatterverse. And Serious Sam is like a single A franchise, but I'll say this. They finally managed to find something interesting to do with the franchise. They've turned it into a roguelite. And while we usually make fun of how everything is being turned into a roguelite, when you're talking about a franchise like Serious Sam, that's an upgrade. It really is an upgrade from the Serious Sam games that we've been playing for the last too many years, honestly. I'm surprised this franchise has survived all this time, because it is just like the bottom of the barrel boomer shooter, pretty much. Like,
I mean, there have been fun ones.
I hate the art in these games. Like, these monsters look ridiculous. They look so stupid.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
It is. I mean, that's Serious Sam. I don't know.
I mean, this is the series where a headless guy runs at you holding 2 cartoon bombs. Like and that's like a common enemy. It was sort of a parody of the shooter genre of the time. Anyway.
Yeah. I feel like it's jumped that shark, though, at this point. But anyway, I do think it's a smart move to mix it up and make it a roguelike, because otherwise nobody would care about this game at all.
The boomer shooter has its place. A well-made one has its place. Stealing from Hades makes sense for this.
Yeah.
Like, sure, why not?
Yeah. But anyway, that is called Serious Sam Shatterverse, and it is coming to pretty much all platforms. And then the last game we want to discuss from the Xbox Partner Preview is a game called Vaunted. This is a tactical RPG from former StarCraft and Guild Wars developers. It's really kind of like XCOM with more RPG elements. I'm not a huge fan of the art style in this. Like, when I first saw it in the show, I didn't pay any attention to it because I just didn't think it looked interesting. But then after the show was over, I figured out that the pedigree of the developers here was like worth sort of investigating. Again, if you worked on StarCraft, that's going to at least catch my eye and make me pay attention to your game. But again,
why doesn't anybody have a nose?
I don't know. I don't like the art style in this at all. It doesn't resonate with me. You can see there's also card collecting elements to it. You can see
there's some XCOM here. There's some...
It is more active, though. Yeah. So it is turn-based, but once the turn starts, it's an active turn.
Yeah, it feels like an evolution of the Mario Rayman or Mario Rabbids games.
Yep. It is kind of sort of the next evolution of that.
Or I guess what was Valkyria Chronicles? Was that that Sega game where you moved around in real time during the turn?
I think so.
I think that was it.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Like the alternate World War I.
Yep. That was it. Yep. So this is kind of similar to that, and then that's it. Like, they showed a bunch of other stuff. They showed Wuthering Waves for Xbox. That game's already out on other platforms. They showed a game called Grave Seasons, which was a rough-looking, like, 2D action adventure. They shared the release date for Super Meat Boy 3D. They showed a game called Forever Ago that was announced forever ago. It was supposed to come out in 2023. It's now coming out this year. It's like an adventure game where you play as an old man on a road trip.
That one. Yeah, that is from a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. Another game called Ascend to Zero, which is like a roguelite isometric action game. They announced that Dispatch is finally coming to Xbox, which is cool. They showed a free-to-play trash game called Frog Squad, which literally looks like just some free-to-play mobile game. It made it into their partner preview. I couldn't believe it. They showed another vaporware game. Well, not vaporware, but just a trash game called Bluey's Happy Snaps. It's basically Pokemon Snap with Bluey. They did show The Eternal Life of Goldman, which we just previewed on GameFace last week, and Matt and I both liked that. And they gave the Xbox release date for Hades 2, which is April 14th. And that was it. That was the Xbox partner preview for March 2026. Again, just a deluge of indies, free-to-play, and AA games. And again, normally when they'd have something like this would be the top story in an episode of GameFace, and instead is at the end. So that just kind of shows you where we're at, and I expect this to continue. I think this is the way they're going to be. Their first-party shows should be cool, because you get to see Fable and all their games that they're working on. anything with third parties is going to be a bust. And it showed like our traffic for this, like the number of people that watch this on Sifted, rock bottom. So people have already figured out that like Xbox, their events are not something that I go to see the hot new stuff.
Yeah, you'll hear about it later.
Yeah, or you hear about it in the State of Play or in the Nintendo Direct.
Right.
So that's where we're at with Xbox at this point. It just doesn't have the leverage. If publishers can't sell their games on Xbox, why would they promote their games to the Xbox audience instead of PlayStation's audience or Nintendo's? There's really no reason to do it. So instead, if you can't get your game in the State of Play, you end up in the Xbox partner preview.
Yeah, well, I think most of this is contracts that have pre-existed already, and you're just finishing those out.
Yep. So anyway, there you go. That's the Xbox partner preview for March 2026. Next up, and we got to get through these very quickly here. We're going to talk about Super Mario Brothers Wonder for Switch 2. It is and I was very surprised to see how expensive this is, Matt. It is a $20 upgrade if you already own Super Mario Brothers Wonder for Switch 1. It's a $20 upgrade. If you buy the whole package, it's $80.
Yeah, they don't give you a break on that one.
They do not. And here's the thing, like there's not that much content in this. I was really surprised by how little there is. So there's like this new area that are like these ruins that you eventually find. It took me a while just to figure out where to go to sort of consume this new content that they've released for the Switch 2 version. But eventually you find this area in the world that was existing before, and there's a new area you can go into, and it's like this little hub area. And it's basically a hub area that's like self-contained for all the content in this, because it's like got this extra thing called Meet Up at Maribel Park or whatever. And Maribel Park is this area that you go to that has like this, it's basically a hub for multiplayer. And inside the hub, you can like train with Toad, and you earn like this water or whatever that you can then use to like grow flowers inside the hub. But really, it's just there for cosmetics. The addition to this is the multiplayer stuff. There are like 17 multiplayer games, and here's the problem. And it's for up to 12 players, which is insane. But the problem is that you cannot match up with people. You can only play with people that are already on your friends list. I don't know how many more Switch games I have to deal with this where you can't match up. I couldn't play any of the mini games.
I think that's Nintendo's intent.
I know they do it on purpose. It is idiotic. Like, I would never recommend that somebody buys this because of that. Like, I have a good many friends on my Switch too. Hardly any of them have bought this upgrade. Like, you're not just counting on people who bought Super Mario Brothers Wonder. You're counting on people who bought that plus the extra $20 for this. Like, that is such a small group of people among your group of friends. There may be one other person that does that. It's just, all the work that went into this is just wasted. I don't understand it. Like, I get it. Nintendo has a younger audience, but it's okay. Like, kids play on PlayStation 5, Nintendo. Like, they play on Xbox. It's okay. Like, I just don't understand why it keeps doing this. So anyway, with this, you get enhanced 4K visuals, and the visuals are a huge upgrade. Like, I enjoyed going back and playing through some of the older levels in 4K just to see how they looked. Like, it is a pretty significant upgrade. And then there's the Bellabelle Park multiplayer hub for 12-player online. There's also the Koopalings have joined Bowser and Bowser Jr., so there's new enemies that have been added to this. There's new power-ups, and then Rosalina has been added as a playable character. And that's pretty much it. You go to the Barabelle Park, and that's where there's Attraction Central, and there's 17 local or online multiplayer minigames, but you can't just play them with randos. So I couldn't play them. I had nobody to play with. There's a new power-up called the Super Flower Pot, which you're seeing right now. You're seeing it right now. And it lets you shoot flowers, and that's like the new power-up, the new big new thing for this. And it also has like an interesting jump to it and everything. But anyway, that's like the new power-up, and then that's pretty much it. Like, there are new boss courses scattered throughout the game where you take on the 7 new Koopalings that have been added to the game. But you have to search those out and find them and blah, blah, blah. So there's not like a bunch of new levels added that you can easily find and play through. You just go to this multiplayer hub, play through some training with Toad, grow some flowers, and play multiplayer. And that's pretty much it. And for $20 or $80, that's a tough sell for me. Mm-hmm. I just can't recommend that somebody would do that. Oh, the other addition that I forgot to mention is that now you can equip 2 badges in the game. So if you don't remember, because it's been a while, in this game you could equip a badge, which is like a buff basically, and now with this new DLC you can enable 2 at a time, and that's pretty much it. That's what you get for $20 or $80. So I'm glad Nintendo sent this to me for free. If I had paid for this, I'd have been pretty pissed off. I do not recommend that any of you buy this for $20 unless you have a family and you know you're going to have people to play the multiplayer stuff with locally, or you have a huge friends list and you know for a fact that a lot of your friends are going to buy this DLC and you're going to have someone to play with. If you have nobody to play multiplayer with, either locally or on your friends list, do not buy it, because otherwise you can't play it. I never got to play the minigames. I had nobody to play with. So don't do what I did. Don't start playing this and realize that you can't play anything. I went in blind with this. I really thought that there was going to be, like 10 new single player things. No. Nope. So
I got that from whenever they showed this stuff. It was pretty clear that it was all
multiplayer stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, not buying that.
And it is. So pretty disappointed.
I wouldn't mind. Can you buy the graphic upgrade separate?
No.
It's like a $5.
That would be nice, though. That'd be smart.
I would get that.
Yeah, that would be smart if Nintendo did that. But I don't know how you'd do that, as far as like in the code.
You just up the visuals.
Yeah, you just put out a separate version, I guess, of it with just the 4K
upgrade.
visuals.
Yeah. They've done that before.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way they handle most of their Switch 2 upgrades. Let's be honest. But anyway, there you go. The Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Plus Melabell, whatever the hell it's called. $20, $80. I say do not get it. We're running out of time. So let's see what I got left here and see what we can get in. Okay. I'm gonna go with Tomodachi Life. It's gonna be the last one because I played this game and I want to discuss it because it's really unlike anything else. I think outwardly it seems like it's similar to like Pokemon Pocopia, but it's really not. It's really completely different. This game is a Switch 1 game, but it plays on Switch 2. So I guess there's really no such thing as a Switch 1 game anymore.
Not really.
They all pretty much play on Switch 2. And this game, here's the thing about this game. It is all...
Don't ask me what I'm going to do with the islands. We're not doing that.
Here's the thing about this game, though. It's all about your Miis. And how many Miis you have on your system, blah, blah, blah. Matt, for whatever reason, I had hundreds of Miis on the Wii.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Celebrities.
Well, because you could import stuff. Like, Kevin Pereira used to send us Miis, like, every day. Like,
yeah.
He would make new celebrity or, like, fictional character Miis, and he'd send them out, and you'd have, like... My Mii Plaza was, like, full all the time.
Well, you could just go to an interface, and you could find all the Miis that everybody else created.
Yeah.
So you could find all the celebrity Miis that you wanted. And you could... Like, I had hundreds of them. And it made it awesome. Like, you'd be playing games with Miis, and, like... Next thing you know, like Michael Jackson is playing tennis.
You never saw the same thing twice.
And that's the concept around this game, is that they want you to upload a bunch of Miis, and then you just kind of, it's like an ant farm almost. You put them all in there, and you just let them do their thing. And then you check in every day, and goofy stuff happens when you check in on them, basically. And it's really like a comedy game is what it's supposed to be. The problem is I have no Miis. I have me, which you're seeing right now, and that's the only one. And like they
didn't export forward from the Wii's.
I don't know, how can you do that? How can I get like all the Miis off of like my Wiimote? Because that's where they were usually stored.
I think you'd have to just like recreate them all.
And so the interface in this to create Miis is more robust than the one that's just default on Switch 2, but it's still so time consuming. And like creating celebrities, it's just not worth the time. Like there needs to be an exchange for Miis somewhere.
No, that's dead.
It sucks. That really sucks. In a game like this, it would shine. Like, and there's no way I'm gonna go spend like days creating celebrity Miis for this game. Like, it could be awesome, this game, because so you start out, it's just like an empty island, and you in your little building, and then a store opens up, and you buy the first meals, and then you feed your Mii the first meals, and then it's not hungry anymore, but then it's lonely, and then you get your first character Mii, and like. They do give you a template first, like when you first create your first Mii. So I was able to create one very easily, and then he has a house. And then you go over to his house and you visit him, and he tells you what he wants to do and what he likes to do. Then you go to the store and you buy the stuff that he likes, the food that he likes, or the little thing that he likes to do. And you just keep going until it builds up this island that is full of Miis that are all interacting with each other and doing stuff around each other. And then when you show up, the game basically triggers like a big event that uses all the Miis, and that's when the comedy like really starts, because this game is so avant-garde and off the wall. Like, you can definitely tell it was made in Japan. I think there's a little bit of the
Well, this is a
cultural
long-running
stuff.
series.
It's not long-running. There's only one other one. That came out for the 3DS like a decade ago, which I never played.
Well, did it come here?
I don't know.
I don't think
All I know is I never played it. This is the first time I've tried this franchise. And so, really, your enjoyment of this is contingent upon having a bunch of Miis, having goofy stuff for them to do, and going in and seeing some weird celebrity doing stuff you shouldn't be doing or you wouldn't expect them to be doing. That's sort of the fun of this. If you dealt with the Miis like Matt and I were talking about in the Wii era, then you know what kind of humor this game has. So
most of what I've seen on this online is just people naming the Mii's weird things to make, because they make the talking moose voices say the names of things because they voice all the dialogue like procedurally. And I saw one that named his Mii clapping your cheeks. And so they would just, it's like, so would you rather eat a good meal or would you like to spend time with clapping those cheeks? and the one that was like, he goes, well, let me think about it. I choose clapping those cheeks. And, and so it becomes this whole thing.
That is the other funny part about this is like when you start, you choose your Mii's voice. And the voice is a big part of this. They all sound like a speak and spell. They're all like generated by AI or something like that. But it's on purpose to be like funny. So you get them to say all this stuff in these goofy voices, and that is half of the fun, listening to them like talk to each other in these weird like robot like AI synthetic
it's like
voices.
I mean, old Mac heads will know Talking Moose, which is just that stupid moose that's sat in the corner of the Mac LC, and just like it's like would like say dumb things or whatever. But I mean, back when they've had that forever.
Yeah,
like, there's those stupid synthesized voices.
This is kind of Nintendo's attempt at The Sims. But more, it's also mixed with like a God game where you just kind of fiddle with the people and you kind of like...
because they're aware of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And you push them gently in directions you want them to go, but you can't overtly control what they do. So it's kind of, like I said, it's like an ant farm. You kind of set up these obstacles. You let the Mii's go up and do their thing, mill around. They get to know each other. They start forming relationships with each other. And it's just like this thing that you don't know what you're going to get every time you open it up. So... Nintendo's kind of on a streak here with Pokemon Pocopia in this game. Like it's odd that these games end up kind of being the games that move hardware. Like no one would have ever thought that somebody was going to buy a Switch 2 for Pokemon Pocopia, but that's what's happening. That is like turned out to be a system seller instead of Metroid Prime 4 or some of the other games that people thought might be.
I don't think anyone really thought Metroid Prime's never been that.
Yeah,
but
for some people,
Pokemon's the biggest IP in the world. It's not shocking that a good Pokemon game is pulling people in. Right?
But it's not a Pokemon game, really.
But it's maybe what people want from Pokemon,
right?
Because it's different.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying though. Is Nintendo? I think is giving people stuff that they didn't know they wanted, but they do want with these sort of two games. So, again, this is a Switch 1 game.
I guess this is the third game?
I thought there was only one before for 3DS.
There's a Tomodachi Collection on DS, Japan only, but we did get the 3DS Tomodachi Life game.
Okay.
It looks incredibly boring to me.
It's not boring.
No,
I had a lot of fun with it. Like I wanted to fiddle around with that more than play Life is Strange.
Well, I wouldn't put that in the box, but
I don't think going into this
better
week,
than Life is Strange reunion, not really the quote they're looking for.
But I don't think most people, before I started my week, if I said, hey, I have these two games to play, which one do you think I'm going to play more or want to play more? I think most people would have thought it was Life is Strange. That ended up not being the case. So I was pleasantly surprised by this. Not as pleasantly surprised as I was by Pokemon Pocopia, but still kind of in the same vein. Like, I wasn't expecting much. Went in, laughed out loud a few times. I was like, okay, like I kind of get
the fact that like I've lost all those Mii's is really what holds me back from that.
It's a deal breaker. It really is. Because the whole time I'm playing, I'm just imagining all the Mii's that I had. Like, I had every celebrity.
You could have populated it with all this,
just like that. And instead, now I have to like build every Mii. Like, at the very least, they should create some kind of a collection inside this game at least, where people can upload their Mii's, and I can go
If I've read, they're very intentionally preventing that. Like they really don't want. They're limiting the sharing features in a weird way.
Because they don't want. Well, the other thing too is that this game has non-binary characters, LGBTQ stuff. You can have a romance with anybody. And I think Nintendo's fear is that stuff starts leaking out on social media and they have to deal with some kind of whatever around it. And so I think Nintendo's trying to stifle that. But it could be the other part too. Yeah. Who knows?
There's also just, the sheer amount of copyright infringement that, how many...
Right. Yep.
because instantly people make Disney characters. And
Yeah. I mean, I had all those. Charlie Brown, everybody. Like
that's
Hulk Hogan.
that's what The Sims is for.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, there you go.
Giant houses full of gay fictional characters.
Yep. That is Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. It's a Switch game, but it also plays on Switch too. There's a demo for it available right now on the eShop. If what we just showed you and talked about interests you, go and check it out.
Giant house with all the Decepticons and a polycule. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, we just got a super chat, I think. We did. From CFHX, kudos to Matt's recent AI rants. A true artist and guardian of the arts in general. Thank you, brother. There you go. And thank you for that awesome super chat. Thank you, CFHX. We appreciate it, brother. Okay.
And you are welcome. I will continue in that vein. I assure you.
I assure you as well. All right. That has brought us to the end of GameFace episode 474, which means that, of course, there's just one thing left to do. That's right. It's time for Name That Game Tune, brought to you by Soundwizardry.com, the absolute wizards in audio. If you're working on a game, a TV show, a podcast, or whatever, anything that has audio in it, call Soundwizardry.com. I guarantee you they will make your project better no matter what you're working on. And if you're working on a game, they will make it way better. They have worked on multiple Game of the Year contenders, multiple Game of the Year winners. They worked on Baldur's Gate 3. Hit up soundwizardry.com. They will make your project better, I promise you.
And if you're making a silent film, they'll make sure that it's perfectly quiet.
No hiss. And because they're so awesome, we play this cool little game called Name That Game Tune, where I play 5 audio samples from a video game. You try to guess the name of the game before Matt Keil right here. Matt's, I think you've won 3 times. The users have won 4 times this year, so pretty good competition going on. Again, everything's changed this year. You can play every week if you want to. It's basically at the end of the year, whoever has won the most times throughout the course of the year gets the big prize. So everybody can play. The only thing you got to remember is that the chat goes into slow mode, so you can't spam the chat with a bunch of random game titles. And that's pretty much it. All right, let's bring up the interface for Name That Game Tune. Hey, YouTube crew, thank you very much. Thank you for the super chats. Unfortunately, we can only play this game on one service, and because we started on Twitch, we play over there. So if you want to play, jump on over to twitch.tv/SiftedGames and get in on it. All right, let's see. Let me bring up our sound bank here. You ready to play Name That Game Tune, Matt?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to play Name That Game Tune? Here's the first sample. In 3, 2, 1. Not Mischief Maker. Someday, though, it will be Rosencrantz.
I know that.
Quake, no. Vincent says this one marinated for a week. It better be good. It's not good because Emperor Gestalt 84 got it already. Wow. It is Final Fight. Wow. Wow. Great job. There's your round of applause. Emperor Gestalt. Let me scroll up and just make sure nobody else got it before you, because somebody else got it right after you. Nope, just you. And yeah, Mr. Starwalker also got it. Just a couple, man, if you could just type a little bit faster, you might have won. Congram got it too. Wow, a lot of people got it.
People know Final Fight.
Yeah. Well, I'll play the other samples just to mind our P's and Q's here. Here's the second one. Here's the third. Here's the fourth one. And here's the last one.
Oh my God.
There you go. We have a winner for Name That Game Tune for episode 474. Congratulations. I will add you to the leaderboard. I think next week I'll bring the leaderboard in so you guys can start to see how it's all stacking up. Nobody has won twice yet. It could be that at the end of the year, Matt, that whoever wins only has like 3 wins or 4 wins. Like, you may not need to win too many times to win this whole thing. So I think it'll be fun if we start getting into November and December.
We may need some kind of tiebreaker.
Yeah, maybe. If we have like a couple people that are at 4, like that last week, it could get really intense. So I'm pretty excited for the changes that we've made to Name That Game Tune going forward. All right. that's going to do it for GameFace episode 474 right here on Sifted at sifted.net. Another reminder that we're supported pretty much 100% at patreon.com/sifted. That's spelled SIFTD for those of you listening to the podcast version of this show. If you can't help us there, and it's only $5 a month to get all our content early, but if you don't have $5 a month and you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, connect that Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and give us a free $2.50 every single month. You just have to visit twitch.tv/siftedgames. Click the drop down there after you've connected your accounts. It's 1, 2, 3 clicks. And you give us a free $2.50. You hear us talking about it all the time on the show. That's what we're talking about. If you're watching on YouTube, go down below. There's step-by-step instructions on how to do that down there. We'd appreciate it very much. And if you don't have Amazon Prime and you can't help us that way, you can still just like the show, comment on the show. Spotify people, I see you. You keep on doing it. We get more comments every single week on Spotify. Thank you. That matters, people. Go review the show on podcast services. Talk about it on social media. Say this episode is great. Put it up on your Facebook page, your Twitter, whatever. All that stuff makes a difference and could help us very, very much. Let's see. Looking ahead to next week, Matt.
Legacy of Kain.
Oh, man, talk about bad reviews. That game is getting butchered. Like, I'm wondering if that may kill the Legacy of Kain franchise.
I mean, was it alive to really begin with? I mean, we
waited a long time for that game.
We got remasters of the Soul Reavers and Defiance, and they took their shot, and that's about what we expected. Right?
I'll say this, though. Sometimes when we review the bad games, it's the better episode of GameFace.
Yeah.
Because when we go after a game, sometimes it's a lot more fun.
If it really is as bad as the reviews seem to indicate, I'm going to have some thoughts, because I love the Legacy of Kain series.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame to bring it back and then instantly
kill it. Yeah.
But it does seem like that may be what they're doing. I mean, you got Simon Templeman and Michael Bell back, and you're doing that. That's what you pull out of your ass. Okay,
yeah.
Whatever.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the thing is like there's so much news happening now. Like we don't even need games for these episodes. I cut 3 topics out of today's show that we had, and I have to do the work for these topics, getting the B-roll together and everything. And like we just don't. There's just too much news to get it all into a 3-hour show. So anyway. Thanks to everybody who showed up on Twitch today or showed up on YouTube today to watch the show. Again, we're here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you want to meet us and show up, that would be awesome. You guys make our show better every single week. Thank you very much. So have yourselves a great week filled with great games. GameFace is up and out.